Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. We were getting stuff set up. It's raining outside now, so that's fun. We've got a bunch of topics today. As you can see, we got a full stream again, which is really fun. There's a lot of news. Marvel Legends did a stream while Figuarts did a flood. Kind of good stuff. So of course I've got yes.
Dawn of the final week of the Switch 2 also.
Oh yeah, that comes out. I have.
It's one of those things where it's like, wait, what do you mean we're ready to Switch 2's launch? What?
Isn't it in 3 days?
It's Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. I have my copy of Cyberpunk for Switch 2 coming, and that's all the Switch 2 I'm doing at launch.
Wait, are you just gonna get the copy of Cyberpunk
Yes.
but not the system?
I'm gonna get the system eventually, but like the copy of Cyberpunk comes with free stickers if you buy it at launch.
I got this for the collection.
Yeah, basically.
It made me realize that like I should probably watch Edge Runners now because Lucy's gonna come to Guilty Gear anytime soon, and like,
Yep.
but I might want to avoid spoilers just in case they're arcade something with spoilers from the show.
Yeah, you should watch this. It's 10 episodes. It's 10 episodes. I
already finished Dual Rulers, so like I already finished that homework, so I need to do the next homework.
There you go. Of course, we have Ryan in one corner. We got Jerry in the other. We got Fighter Cows. So I think we got some stuff to talk about.
As your fighting collection too, Kels.
Oh, dude, that thing's crack. The only thing is I want to platinum it, and platinum it requires me to play the one game I don't like on that collection.
Oh, which one? Is it Fighting Evolution?
Yeah,
Yep.
Fighting Evolution.
Did you get your copy yet, son?
I bought my digital, and it's great. We were playing. What were we playing last?
Yeah,
week?
we were playing Alpha 3.
Yeah,
mostly Alpha 3 and
Power
Stone 2. Yeah.
I need to get my copy because we should probably stream it as a member stream eventually.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Because we've been doing. What was it? I think are we gonna do it tomorrow as well? Just kind of.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do CVS 2 tomorrow. I think maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, no.
I'm definitely gonna make it so it's any, so that way we could just freely switch.
Mm-hmm. Because that was really fun last week. I love those collections and the way they're like structured and everything. And I'm just like, I want to play more of it. Yeah, I still need to get my physical Switch copy to go with my other Switch copies of the other collections. But yeah, good stuff.
You need to get the mini comic that comes with it.
Yes,
which if it's a Switch copy, I think it's even more like micro size. I think.
Well, with the MVC collection, it was the same size in both, and that was why it was so small in the PlayStation copy because I had to fit in a Switch case. Like it looks right at home inside the Switch case. It just looks tiny inside a PlayStation case.
Boy, does it!
Mm-hmm.
By the way, some housekeeping. KamehaCon is the 13th, Friday the 13th. Oh, funny enough, it's Friday the 13th.
Oh God, run, Cows, run!
KamehaCon is going to start that day, and I'll be there.
Yeah, is that this month?
Yep.
Cool.
I need someone to do a cosplay of it's like Time Breaker Bardock from Xenoverse with the mask, but it's like a Jason version of it.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd actually be kind of sick.
Mm-hmm. That'd be awesome. Yeah, last week on the channel, we had a couple videos. There was the Ninja Turtles Super 7 video, looking at the 2003 Ninja Turtles, and then my travel video, which was one going to FanFest and some other stuff I threw in.
I love the sandwich saga.
God, I even made it I didn't realize how long the sandwich story was, and I was like, I guess I got to make it a chapter time in and of itself.
I love because you're hugging Yoshi, but due to the fact how Yoshi's designed, it looks like you're strangling him.
Yes, it's true. He does not have a neck. So it just looks like, I also look like I was tackling him to the ground, but I was very excited, so it was possible. Luckily, Yoshi was sturdy.
The One Piece stuff looked great. Like that one's like one of the coolest things I saw.
Never been happier to stand 45 minutes in a meet and greet line.
were your legs dead after it?
My legs were dead after that, and I still had like 9 more days on my trip. But no, it was really fun, and I had fun. I really had done a fun editing that video too. And I was just like, I'm just gonna make this thing long. I kind of didn't talk too much about like the Disneyland part of the trip because I didn't have as much to say because I recorded some of it. It was just like, and here's the reason why Guardians of the Galaxy had a 100-minute wait, 15 minutes before closing. I'm like, okay, no one cares about this. Only I care about stuff like this. So I just kind of cut it a little bit. But yeah, no, the Universal stuff was the best stuff. So.
I think your video is probably one of the best 2003 Super 7 videos because I feel like the problem I always have with trying to look up Super 7 videos is there's always like a bias always about Super 7 stuff, and like there's definitely some rightfully so.
Because like there's a lot of people that either love or hate Super 7 and never really go with like a mid ground of like, here's what it did good, here's what it didn't do good, and that's kind of the approach I try to take with everything.
Yeah, like they're not perfect, but like I think I am definitely convinced to get them. I do ask, did your Donnie have the same? I think right leg scuffing on it. I think. All right, so that is just a QC problem with that figure in general. Then, but it looks like because multiple people have reported that part in their copies, and which is unfortunate.
So that's just
a
weird thing that happened to everybody's.
Production. Yeah.
And that's the thing I kind of enjoyed. I had fun making that video because it was like the first one I made after I got back. But I did have more fun making this travel video because it was a little bit different. But I think the Turtles video turned out nice. I kept it under a half hour, which I was really proud about. I have a tendency to talk long.
When it comes to travel videos, I think I'm always a fan. I'm not really into like vlogging stuff. Like, they just take the camera. Like, I like narrative travel videos where like it's a narration post travel trip and them narrating their adventures.
There was one time I tried to film a vlog and I was so out of my depth. I was like, never mind. I'm just gonna film footage and I'll narrate it later.
I mean, that's your style. I don't think you've ever done vlogs, have you?
No, I've watched enough of them. I feel like I could try, but like I don't do them anymore. I did old cell phone videos sometimes.
A very bad potato quality in the ye old days of the channel.
I mean, it was a flip phone in 2009.
Yep. Cal, so was it? Was your running gag with Soundout Travels? How's your BotCon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I hope you have fun at BotCon 2010.
Yes, commenting it 12 years later. But yeah, basically, if I do any travel-based videos, it'll be structured like this, where I can just edit it together later and just kind of tell the story and cut in footage, because that just fits my style better. And that's why, like, the video that should be this week is another video where I traveled somewhere, but it's going to be completely structured differently. So, and there's a teaser for it inside that video. If you guys want to know what it is, go watch the
about monkeys,
the FanFist video. It might be. You gotta go watch the video and see the teaser. But that'll be fun. Shorts, yes. So I just did a short on Mafek's Superman figures because I got my Superboy in, and I was like, look at all of them. And then I legitimately had no idea what to do as a second short that week in the time I have. And shout out to Hellfire. He was just like, you could just make a short on the Looney Tunes movie. It might do a few views, and then it overperformed significantly. So shout out Hellfire.
I definitely tell it was like off the cut because I don't think you're using your mic.
No, I was just recording it on my phone.
Yeah.
Both of these were recorded off my phone, which is why there's odd pauses in the Superman one, because I wasn't sure how to trim the clips in the YouTube mobile app. I'm so used to using
I don't know either.
I'm so used to using Premiere, right? Like, so it's like, I just like click, cut, trim, but like on the phone, I'm just like, I have to like adjust these little things. Like, yeah. Like you said, Cass.
I tried it before. I didn't know what to do either.
Yeah. I found out my phone camera has a pause feature, though. Like, I can pause recording a video and pick it back up.
Can I tell you, trying to work on... How do you manage Google spreadsheets? Because I've been trying to I've been using those to manage my commissions, and there are I go like, what am I doing? It's even worse on mobile when you're trying to set up on mobile. But like,
mobile spreadsheets now.
I want to chuck my keyboard every time. And like, what am I doing?
Yep. I saw this great TikTok that was titled "Moving Images in Microsoft Word," and it was someone with their house arranged nice and neat, and they were adjusting a table, and they shifted the table like 1 degree, and then everything in the room turned upside down.
To have it multiple times in your spreadsheet or Photoshop for me.
Yeah. You make that one tweak, and then everything goes wrong.
Yep.
Yep.
Is it equivalent of drawing in the wrong layer?
Yeah.
Oh no, you mean my constant nightmare
Constant
of the
nightmare.
wrong layer? Oh my god.
I
just did it now, actually, funny enough. I just did that right.
fell into the trap once again. Yeah, no.
Anyways,
Let's run down who's in our chat. We got a little chat here.
welcome, Beast Slayer, our Mr. Overs, The Person, Master Ben, Astronaut, Sly Rocker, as for Jason, Jamie's World, Blade Raider, Dr. Grid, Toma K, Mr. Tanuki, Cindy Raider Donnie, LPH, Peacemaker, Hellfire, Red Ranger Christian. That should be everybody for now. I don't think I missed anybody.
If we missed anybody, let us know. We're not
holler in
infallible.
the chat.
Yeah. Also, happy Pride for everyone that celebrates.
Happy
because
Pride Month.
It's Pride Month, and I have a comment about that when we talk about Doctor Who later. Anyway,
it's time for Marvel DC to unearth their Pride characters again for another year and not use them in any other book.
It's also the first stream of the month. Hey, Dr. Grid, and Sly Rocker. It's the first stream of the month, so we're doing membership gifting, so that
Taylor.
I have a reason to re-record the member shout out.
Yeah. We have Professor Troll Taylor, Kikaku, Van Yun, Sen Orof, the Clueless Collector, Lacey Den, Ben Odinson, Omega Saiyan, and Gang One. Welcome, and Elizabeth Lawson, the Black Gecko Kaka. Welcome to the membership.
So that's a free month of membership at the highest tier for you to enjoy. If anybody else wants to gift memberships, it's a great way to help support the channel and support the community. It's always a fun time. Blade Raider says, if I disappear for much of this, I just got Omega Prime in the mail, got to do surgery. Best of luck on the surgery. Because
Omega Prime, I think we're getting to the point where I think people are making stuff up with their Omega Primes at this point, where it's like,
hey, Jamie's World gifted 5 memberships.
Well, Mr. Overs, Jeremy Pomani, Trip Crid, Z-Man 12 Bat, and Geeks. Welcome, thank you, Jamie's World.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That I really appreciate that. It really helps the channel keep going and helps other people get to enjoy the cool perks like the early access and all that. I got to start scheduling in member streams. That's tricky, but I can do it. And yeah, there's going to be some good stuff. I'm going to try to keep I'm trying to push the schedule a little bit so that way the early access period's a little bit longer. Because as of right now, it's about 16 hours ahead, which I think is pretty good. But let's see if I can push it to 24. Just to give it a little bit more oomph. Yeah, the Omega Prime thing's kind of a mess. It's not as bad as a mess as the Ben 10 thing.
Because with Omega Prime, the most common issue is the torso. I think that's the universal thing. But I think there's some where apparently his leg springs are breaking. I'm like, come on. I don't think it can't be that bad.
It's just is it just one copy? Is it just 2 copies? Is it a whole issue? I don't know. I think it's also why people are like, why hasn't Hasbro said anything? Well, they kind of did. If you contact them, they're like, we're working on a solution. With the Ben 10 thing, welcome Infinite. With the Ben 10 thing, Warner Brothers did make a statement that they're sending out, they're going to be doing a replacement set available in September, and they're going to send out replacement copies. So we'll see what that's going to be like, because
I'm very curious what that's going to be.
Yeah.
Because are they just going to add? Is it going to be the existing set with extra disc, or are they going to just fully redo Omniverse?
Yeah, and then because it's as we want the Omniverse as the big thing, and I'm just still and 2 of the shows are still cropped wrong.
Because Alien Force and Classic are still 4:3 instead of 16:9, like they should be.
Yes, I was very amused, like the person mentioned. I was very amused at the phrasing "manufacturing issue." I think Mark from Discotek said, "I've never had a manufacturing issue where 40 episodes went missing."
Are missing.
That's just it. That's it's.
No, I love Master Ben's comment there.
Oh, did Chopper reproduce? No, the tiny one was the one I had longer.
No, he might. No, I think he might toast it.
He bi-generated.
Yeah, he bi-generated.
Split.
Wait, he thinks that. Did he bi-generate with himself or Bippo over there?
I don't know. Considering that the one Chopper's wearing Traffy's clothes. Maybe he bi-generated with Beppo. That. And this is just like pre-time skip Chopper visiting for the crossover due to like timey-wimey.
No, it's the clone Chopper from the end of from the end of Series 4.
Yeah, there you go. It's the hand. It regrew a body.
We'll be talking about Chopper later in the stream, but
and Doctor Who. It's a stacked stream. So for everyone wondering, I have the outline here. If you're wondering about Doctor Who, I am going to talk about the season finale, and we're going to go into full spoilers, but I'm leaving it completely for the end of the show. So like you'll get plenty of warnings that we're going into spoilers, and I'll just be like, if you don't want any spoilers, get out now. And it'll be the last thing. There'll be nothing after it. I structured it that way, so that way,
Hellfire. We have small Chopper and Chopper that robbed Law.
Exactly. Yeah, he found Law at the bottom of the ocean. Was like, I'm gonna take your hat. Anyways, I'm not bitter. Let's talk about this weekend's new movie, Karate Kid Legends, which I went and saw. So for context, I've seen a whole 3 Karate Kid movies.
About that.
I've seen the first one, the second one, and the Jackie Chan one that was actually about Kung Fu. So that was all I knew going into this movie.
Oh, that was literally my question. You answered it right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was asking if you saw Cobra Kai leading up.
Yeah, no, so
Did not see Cobra Kai. I did not see 3, and I did not see whatever the 4th one was called.
the next
Next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I also saw the film this weekend, and meanwhile, I've seen all.
You're the Karate Kid expert of our group.
Yeah, I've seen all 6 movies and have watched all Cobra Kai multiple times because Cobra Kai is actually one of my favorite TV. Like it's like my comfort show. Like if I just want to chuck something on, like
Cobra Kai is to Ryan what Planet of the Apes is to me.
Yeah, like it's one of those shows where it's such like a comfortable show that I rewatch it like multiple times without like unintentionally.
It's like me with Justice League Unlimited. I'll just put it on.
yeah. Like leading up to this movie, I did rewatch the whole franchise like fresh, like all the original 3 movies, the next Karate Kid, which is the garbage. That film was bad. The 2010 film and all Cobra Kai season 1 to 6. So I like everything's fresh. When I came to this film with all the films fresh in my head, so I feel like we might have not like 2 different opinions of this film, but we had 2 different perspectives.
Definitely. I think yours is more informed, Ryan.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen all of Cobra Kai. I've seen all the movies, but
yeah.
So, baseline thought, I loved it. I really loved it. I really enjoyed this movie a whole lot. Coming in as like I guess a casual like Karate Kid fan. This movie, we won't go into spoilers, of course. It just came out. But like baseline thought, I really liked how there's a Karate Kid cartoon show. I did not know this.
I see one episode.
Yes,
it was super. I see one episode of it. It was super racist.
I'm not surprised.
It was classical. We'll turn the tribal, we'll turn the clearly like tribal Indian clan into the bad guys with mystical stuff. It was a collar tugging the very least. Watching it.
Infinite says, does Jackie Chan character that trained the kid in China know Miyagi? So yeah, I'm gonna give you the basic setup because I think this is kind of like good context. It's in the trailer too. So Jackie Chan's playing Mr. Han, who was the mentor in the 2010 Karate Kid movie, right? And so he's playing the same character, which I think is really cool. And the idea is that Mr. Han and Mr. Miyagi were friends, and they trained together. And so they had they're like the Miyagi karate is not just straight karate, but it takes some influence from Kung Fu, and Han's Kung Fu takes influence from karate. And so it's kind of like they talk about it being the 2 branches on one tree. And I really like that idea, like a whole lot. And then I also really like the fact that, you have Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio's giant heads on the poster, but we didn't end up in a Ghostbusters Frozen Empire situation where they're so focused on bringing the old people back, they forget they have new characters to establish.
They had a whole TV show to do that. So
yeah, and so I like that this movie, like the first half of this movie, at some point I did ask, where's Jackie Chan? But like I was enjoying like the new characters so much, it wasn't a problem for me. Like I really enjoyed that they were establishing a new Karate Kid in his story, like it was a legacy sequel in the sense that it continues the legacy, but it was also like, oh, this is like its own movie too. Like if you had never seen a Karate Kid movie before, you could totally get this movie, and I think that was neat.
Yeah. For me, like, so I really did enjoy the film. I did. But I would definitely say, I definitely prefer the. I described this to my friend who I watched Cobra Kai with. I did call it this is kind of like two seasons of a TV show slapped together in one movie is the best way I can describe it
Yeah.
because. Because I think the biggest thing about this film, my biggest complaint with the film is definitely pacing, because it definitely was very. The second half definitely felt more crammed than the first half, I would say. And such.
And there's a
And
really
I
cool
think,
element of this movie they like hid from the trailers, and I thought they should have played it up more.
yeah. I would say that I think the best parts is everything to do with the new cast with Lee, because I really like Lee as the main character. I really like his cast, his cast of characters he interacts with. Like I think all that stuff is the strongest part of the film. I honestly think the weakest part of the film is when they brought back Mr. Han and Daniel into the film. Honestly, um, because again, since the whole entire franchise is fresh in my head, so I know how these characters are. Mr. Han in this film is not the same character as the 2010 film, to be honest. It didn't, watching the 2010 film, because I just watched the 2010 film only like a few days before watching Legends, and they're very different characters. Mr. Han has a very, I don't want to spoil the 2010 film, but he has a very tragic backstory in the 2010 film, and
Yeah, I
seeing
remember.
him.
He was
Seeing
very much more just Jackie Chan
Jackie
in this
Chan,
one. Yeah,
like
he was a lot
in the
goofier.
2010
really?
yeah,
Yeah,
2010 film, he was definitely like, Jackie Chan was just playing Mr. Han, and yes, honestly, like in the 2010 film, like some of Jackie Chan's best acting, like there's some great emotional stuff within the 2010 film. Here, he is definitely, goofy Jackie Chan, the classic, fun and wise mentor character, and that did, like, I don't want to say rub me the wrong way, but but it did it just
it kind
kind
of
of
makes
feel
you
like
wonder if it's supposed to not necessarily be an exact
no, yeah,
sequel.
yeah. My brain, yeah, because you watch the film, and this is more like this is less of the Mr. Han from that movie, but more of the Mr. Han and the main Karate Kid,
Mr.
like
Han, one universe
continuity.
removed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what describe it.
Earth
So yeah,
2?
that's yeah,
Earth 2,
yeah,
Mr.
Earth 2
Han.
Karate Kid. Yeah, so that was my problem with Mr. Han in the film. I don't think he was bad, but he was not the same character. Is
Yeah.
the all way to describe it. And Daniel, um, the problem I have with Daniel, and I have some leeway with Daniel, because the biggest thing is I'm not gonna expect him to reference stuff from Cobra Kai, because there's always a chance that not everybody's seen Cobra Kai. So
And it's
that's
smart
that's
because
fine.
look what happened to
Yeah.
Marvel when they tried to just pretend that everybody watched the Disney
Yeah.
Plus shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that, but it did kind of like it did more like eyebrow raising for me with Daniel's character, because there's some lessons in this film with him interacting with Mr. Han that he has already learned during the 6 seasons of Karate Kid. I mean, Cobra Kai is my kind of issue, and again, I'm gonna let that like by, because again, not everyone's seen the TV show, so I'm not gonna spec like I'm not. I understand why
You're
they
not going to
did.
be like the weird mob of Cobra Kai people that are boicotting this movie for not being Cobra Kai.
Yeah, yeah. So
Good
like,
job killing
I'm
your
not.
own franchise, guys. Like,
I mean, the series is over, so it's not like the
yeah, I
series is
know.
over
It's
already.
like it's but it's one of those things of like, if you want future Karate Kid things, you got to support the thing that comes out. Like, even if you're not
Yeah.
like 100% happy with it, because it's not a big enough franchise to be self-sustaining. It's like
Well,
just like
that's
I'm going to go see Tron Ares, even though I don't like anything I've seen of it.
another thing. It's not like Cobra. Like the thing about what's good about Cobra Kai's finale is everything's wrap up. Everything
Yeah.
that's like that Cobra Kai set up is wrap up by the end of Cobra Kai. So it wasn't like there was this movie was leaning like they didn't even do like I was actually surprised watching Cobra Kai. There was nothing leaning into this movie. Actually, nothing. That was actually nice to see. And stuff like that. But it just definitely it kind of just felt like Daniel was added last minute, and especially how
There's a reason why he has the "and" credit and not just like
Yeah.
a starring credit. Yeah.
Because not it's not a spoiler, but like Mr. Han goes from China to New York to California to New York very fast. Like, how do you like? I know there's quick flights, but my God,
Yeah.
it's like kind of a little ridiculous there.
He does hop the world pretty quick. And it's funny too because it was reminding me of some Jackie Chan movies I watched. I'm like, that's just a thing Jackie Chan can do. He can teleport. Like,
Yeah. I think my only like my only problem with the second half, I think, is it's mostly due to pacing. It was just kind of wonkily paced, and honestly, the martial like there's some great martial arts, but I think my problem with the martial arts, how they did the film in this film compared to Cobra Kai, is Cobra Kai. There's no like this way. The best way to describe it, it's kind of movie-fied martial arts where
Mm.
you get your you get your slow mos, you get your Dutch angle. Like they kind of that's definitely a fun cinematic way, but like in Cobra Kai, and also the original films also, it's very raw. Like these are like you can definitely tell these are the actors doing the stunts. I'm pretty sure the stunts in this film are also done with the
Mm.
actors, but like it definitely feels less.
I mean, there was a few shots
Like,
where I was like, "That ain't Ralph Macchio."
yeah, but yeah.
I'm like, that is a much younger person doing that kick.
Yeah, yeah. Where in in Cobra Kai and the original films
Yeah.
and such, you can definitely tell those are the actors doing the stunts, and it made it a little more honestly more impressive than stuff like that.
I think they probably did that as an intentional thing to make sure it didn't just look like it was another episode of Cobra Kai. You know, because
Yeah,
you want to
definitely.
make sure your
I
theatrical movie looks more like movie-like, right? So I think they did that on
Yeah,
purpose. But yeah, I totally see what you say about like the difference between like the cinematic versus the more like grounded like action that the
y-
series has had.
definitely. I do like because this film kind of does cause like cool like art style stuff like with
Well, they
flashing
use
like
split
graphics.
screen. I love split screen, and they were using it all
Yeah,
over the place.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And such that. But I think overall, I think Legends. I think it is. If I had to rank the films, it definitely is. And what I mean, it's on the bottom, and I don't. And that's not because I don't like the film. I did like the film, but I think I like the original trilogy and 2010 just a bit more because I think
Mm.
those ones have a bit more. What I like about the original trilogy, looking back, and the 2010 film is those really great quiet moments, and there are
Yeah.
definitely quiet moments in this film, but it definitely feels more. I hate saying modern film like, but it's definitely. I also really surprised how I haven't revisited the 2010 film in a bit, so when
Mm.
rewatch it, I forgot how beautiful that film was because it was filmed in like Beijing, China,
Yeah.
and such. And
This movie's like, we're in Beijing. I'm like, are you?
yeah, yeah, there's some great cinematic shots,
Vancouver.
I
and
mean, that being said, they made their budget back in one weekend, so their work, the
oh,
lower budget worked in their
that's nice.
favor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and such. But I think if the film mostly focused on Lee's story and his cast, I think it'll definitely be a stronger film.
Mm.
Throwing in Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio, well, great. Not,
I think
I think
Jackie Chan was fine. I think it's like, yeah, when you start putting two
yeah, Ralph.
mentors in, it starts to crowd it a little bit.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
yeah, because I think I don't think Daniel. How much I love Daniel as a character, I don't think he was needed because he had a whole TV show,
Yeah.
a 6-season TV show to flesh out his character, and especially he mentored his own kids in that series. So I don't think he needed another kid to mentor. I did love the quote unquote. I don't want to say post credit scene. It was like a weird like
Oh, the
post
post title sting. Yeah.
screen. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
love that scene a lot. But I think it is a really good film. Though there is a there's a funny moment because Bandai clearly did like a deal with Sony to because in Tekken 8 there's like a Cobra Kai Karate Kid Legends like event
Yes.
going on, and there's a scene in the subway. And it's like we're just
And
putting a
Tekken
Tekken 8
8's ad is in every
poster
shot.
on it.
And
That was so
they go
distracting.
past like Times Square, and there's just Tekken 8 billboards everywhere.
It was so
Yeah.
distracting.
You know what's really distracting to me too is there was a couple shots at the high school where like the one girl was drinking Starry, but it was always perfectly centered in frame that you
Oh
could
yes,
always see the Starry logo. Like
Yep.
her cam was set down perfectly to
yeah.
face the Starry logo at the camera.
Yes. That reminds me of a bit in like I think it was like one of the Adam Sandler films, like where it's like, oh, always make sure the
Yep.
product logo's on the screen and such.
Oh god, it's like the first
Got,
Sonic movie. They were like, let's look at the house on Zillow.
yeah,
It's
people
like
keep thinking Olive Garden is the product placement.
it's
No,
not.
that's
It's Zillow.
Yeah, I think people keep thinking
Because the Olive Garden was just a joke they put
a
in.
joke.
Yeah,
It was
because
a
you
joke.
notice
So
how
we
we've
can
never
think,
had an Olive Garden Sonic collab like we did for Garfield,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
like, yeah. Anyways, I thought the movie
Yeah.
was great. I think I think it was really solid, and I enjoyed it a whole lot.
It
And
was good to watch. I would
yeah.
say it was definitely good to watch nice to finally watch a more smaller scale film. 'Cause
Yeah.
most of the films I watch are either the superhero ones or your
Mhm.
animated ones. So it's kind of nice to watch a more smaller scale film like this again. It did feel nostalgic watching it.
And it was also nice
On
to have like a legacy sequel that wasn't pounding you with nostalgia every 5 minutes.
yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
That's I
like
think
there's
the
an
best.
extended part of the movie, like I said, that doesn't have Jackie Chan in it, and I was like, I really like this.
Mhm. And yeah, and for me, it's the best part of the movie.
The pizza shop owner is like my favorite character in this movie.
Oh yeah, no, I love that guy.
And I was like, why was he not in the trailers? He's like really selling this movie.
I think also,
Yeah.
I think I think I like the first half more because I kind of well, not the same thing as because I was a born immigrant, not a moved to
Mhm.
immigrant. I did really, as a Vietnamese is very close to China, Beijing, China,
Yeah.
such of there's a lot of I when they talk about all the stuff with Lee in New York talking to like his culture and stuff, I kind of relate that. I have a lot of personal relation because I have similar things like that growing up
Mhm.
with my family and such that. So that was I think a really great to see, especially.
I think I'll say my favorite joke of the movie.
Oh,
Welcome,
what
K
is it?
Master. I haven't missed much. We're mostly talking about Karate Kid. My favorite joke in the movie was it's like Lee gets to New York and he needs toilet paper, and he's like, "Where do I get toilet paper?" And this girl's like, "Oh, just go to the bodega around the corner." He just stares at her. She's like, "Oh, it's what we call a convenience store." Like he just has this dead stare. He's like, "What word did you just say to me?"
Yeah, I'm like that sometimes. Yeah.
I love that. I was like that top tier stuff. But yeah, if you guys have any interest in Karate Kid Legends, I recommend it.
It's a
Recommend
good
checking it
time.
out. It's a good time. Had a great time. All right, let's get to the news because we got news to talk about. So, you guys ready for some comic book news? There was absolutely nothing going on in comic books last week, so the only thing we have to talk about is this Masters of the Universe comic. Just kidding. There's another much bigger story. But anyways, Masters of the Universe, The Sword of Flaws is coming out starting in September. It's another 4-issue miniseries from Dark Horse. I still have PSAs written up there. Boom. Comic books. All right. So we got Tim Seeley writing again, and art by Freddie E. Williams II, who's done a bunch of Masters of the Universe comics, which is awesome. And it is a new miniseries, and they kind of like... I have no idea where it takes place timeline-wise.
I think it's like from what I understand, it's sort of like a Revelations where it's based on the Filmation cartoon, but it's like not supposed to be the Filmation cartoon.
So I don't know how...
I
Because like all the Dark Horse stuff so far has been tie-ins to Revolution and Revelation.
I think has Dark Horse ever done like a full like series of He-Man, or is it always been
It's always been miniseries. But it's kind of like that's the case with Dark Horse with like pretty much everything. I don't know anything at Dark Horse that's an ongoing right now. Like everything's a 4-issue miniseries or a 12-issue miniseries. It's just kind of how they operate. But yeah, it's been all 4-issue miniseries just back to back basically.
Trades are so expensive. Trades are so expensive.
Yeah, their trades are expensive because they're like more expensive than buying the singles. It's a really weird business model.
Except for their Hellboy collections, they always make those cheap for some reason.
Yeah, and then with any of the other collections too, like the Cyberpunk Library collection is like $50, and it's a massive, oversized hardcover, and it contains 3 trades worth, which would be $60 in paperback. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get why their trade paperbacks are like the worst price value out of all their formats, but yeah, I'm kind of still hoping they'll do like a library hardcover for these He-Man comics because it'd be nice. All right.
Did they do the giant like He-Man omnibus, so the mini comics, right?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did that, and they did the newspaper strip one. That's actually newspaper size.
Oh, really?
Huge. Yeah, it's massive. All right. Of course, the big comic book news was that Marvel and DC have announced their next crossover. Logically, it's got Batman and also somehow Deadpool.
I mean, geez, I wanted the one that made them like how many money in the box office last
I just
year?
say it's funny because they just canceled Cody Ziegler's Deadpool comic for not selling well
really?
enough. So I'm like, okay, is Deadpool popular in a flagship hero or not? You keep kneecapping him.
Well, it's because it is Ziegler all about Wade's daughter, right? So
Yeah.
maybe it's more about Wade. Sadly, though, it has to be Wade Wilson.
But the thing is that like there's not been a Deadpool run to go over 20 issues in like a decade. Like, every time a
Yeah,
series gets rolling, they just kneecap them and they start over. And I'm like, yeah, Marvel, commit to something, please.
Deadpool's weird because he is a popular character, but like it's weird that like maybe it's just one of those like
I
maybe
will
just
say it's because the movie Deadpool is actually a better person than the comic Deadpool.
yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
that's true.
I think
That
because
long shot.
I do love Deadpool, but I think it's one of those.
But you
characters
read
I
his
think a lot-
comics, and like, there was an issue of Deadpool recently where he like took a sniper shot to Miles' shoulder. It ultimately wasn't Miles who he shot, but like the fact he was just willing to do that kind of horrified me. And then I remembered, oh right, comic Deadpool's really a terrible person.
I think it's one of those things where I think Deadpool as a character, a lot more people gravitate to adaptations of him than the original comic because I
Yes.
think. Maybe I think because adaptations do usually make him more of more of an anti-hero kind of role. Where
Anti-hero with
in
a
the
heart of
comic,
gold kind of guy.
oh, where in
Versus
the comics, he is a mercenary at the end of the day scenario.
perfect
Like, you know.
example. In the movies, Blind Al is his lovable like roommate that he really loves and appreciates. In the comics, Blind Al is a woman he kept in his basement, locked up and tortured.
Yeah,
That's
I can. That's the
that.
depending
You
on the
remind me
run.
of something.
What?
What was that?
How between his comic, Deadpool comic and movie, The Mask.
Yes.
The
Oh
Mask comic is
Yep.
woof.
Gruesome.
Woof.
See also
That's definitely
Cyber
the case.
6.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, that's the name of Deadpool is like a lot more depending on the run or especially adaptations when he's your Ryan Reynolds or voiced by Ryan North. No, sorry, Nolan North,
Nolan North.
not the writer. Yeah, is they usually humanize him. That's the thing. They always humanize him, make him more like a a
Yeah.
believable guy that also happens to break the fourth wall all the time. But comic Deadpool is he is insane. That's
Yeah.
the big thing about
And every writer writes him
Deadpool.
differently.
Yeah, I think then that's probably why like people gravitate more to like. There's a reason why Gwenpool got like how long was her original run? Like
A
30
lot.
issues.
Gwenpool's had a longer comic run. Gwenpool's original comic run lasted longer than every Ghost Rider comic run of the 2000s and 2010s.
I hope they reprint that on me because I do want that one so much.
So, getting back to it, weird pairing aside, they're doing 2 one-shots. So Marvel will be publishing Deadpool versus Batman, and DC will be publishing Batman versus Deadpool. And they'll have 2 different creative teams. So on the Marvel side, we got Greg Capullo, which is funny because he used to be a big DC guy, but now he was a big Spawn guy, then a big DC guy, now he's a big Marvel guy. Greg Capullo on art and Zeb Wells on writing, which is a logical choice because Zeb Wells co-wrote Deadpool and Wolverine.
I feel bad for him so much because ever since his
Spider-Man run?
I get his Spider-Man run was bad, but like
I will argue I haven't read a Zeb Wells comic that was good, but I don't think the way that people treat him is appropriate because they vilify him like he's a demon spawn of Satan that ruined their lives.
Especially how they treat him compared to actual bad people.
Yeah, I like people like don't give Jeff Johns shit like they should.
Or Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb should not be working because of how awfully racist that man is, and yet he's writing Hush 2 and he's doing something else, and I'm just like, stop giving Jeff Loeb's doing a new Age of Apocalypse, and I'm just like, what the like why does this guy keep getting work? Anyways, Zeb Wells, like, I think he's like everything I've heard from everybody that's met him at a convention, like he's a pretty good guy. Like he may not be the best writer, but he's a pretty good guy, and that honestly counts for more in this industry that protects abusers because they can write good comics. So
that's the sad thing. Is like like some that's the sad thing. Is like even though I'm a fan of his writing, fine, but like God, like
the way people vilify him is ridiculous.
I'll never forget like his interview about having to kill Kamala Khan. I feel bad for him so much. His like quote was like, "I had to. Am I gave it the guy that had to kill Kamala Khan?"
He got picked. They're like, they were like, you get to do it, and he was like, and they had to do it quick because the fall of X was coming. So they had to resurrect her before Krakoa got blown up. I felt bad for him there because I was like, yeah, no. Frank Miller's also horrifically racist. Look up Holy Terror by Frank Miller and then you'll understand.
You don't need to read it, just one glance at it.
Look up Linkara's video on it. Simpler.
Yeah.
All right. The thing is, DC, though, was like, like I thought the Marvel team, I was like, that's solid. Kind of expected. DC was like, Grant Morrison and Dan Mora, and I was like, oh, this is made me so excited because at first I thought this was a weird pairing, but Grant Morrison's never written Deadpool before.
You're just gonna write him, honestly.
I'm very excited for that. And then Dan Mora doing artwork's great. So I'll be buying both of these. I think a lot of people will. These are going to be like the best-selling comics of the year. I guarantee you right now. And they did announce that there's going to be more coming next year, more crossover one-shots. And I believe these are supposed to start having backup stories with other crossovers in them. So
is that the new logo for Batman? Because I actually really like that new logo.
That's the new logo for the Matt Fraction run.
Yeah, I really like that logo.
Which hypothetically will be started before this comic comes out. When does this come out? I think it's like, I forget when they said. I think it's like November or something.
Yeah, I think it was fall.
It's sometime in fall. But yeah, it's the first Marvel and DC crossover since JLA Avengers in 2003. And I'm excited. And also, I'm excited for the future stuff. But yeah, the thing is, another thing, just to complain about Jeff Loeb some more. Hush 2 got delayed an issue now. So now Matt Fraction's Batman's been pushed off because, Hush 2 being Jeff Loeb, who sucks, but Jim Lee, who's talented, but also is the editor-in-chief at DC.
He also takes, like, Jim Lee, great artist, he takes forever for his stand.
Exactly. On top of having to be the editor-in-chief. Like that, the Hush 2 thing should not have been an in-continuity monthly storyline. It should have been a separate like, Black Label thing.
I know, right? I was so confused that, like, my Hush 2 was, like, replacing Chip Zdarsky's runs. Like, wait, why? That should have been, like, essentially when it's called Hush 2, that's not, like, an arc. That's a book. That's a separate book.
Yeah, it should have been, like, a Black Label thing, because now we've run into the issue where Jeff Loeb clearly hasn't been reading any Batman in the recent years, so, like, Damian Wayne's teaming up with Bane. Bane, the guy that killed Alfred in front of Damian. Yeah, let's have Damian and Bane team up.
Yeah, wasn't he gonna say that was a storyline in Josh Williams' Batman and Robin? Wasn't it him getting revenge on Bane?
Yeah,
in one of the current arcs. Like,
it was like he hates Bane, and
boy,
yeah, no, it's like Mutex said this Hush 2 good. After I said that, do you think it could be?
I mean, it's written by a racist, so.
And on top of the fact, the original Hush comic sucks ass. Like that book's only
like
great because of the artwork.
Yeah. People hype that one a lot.
People hate the anime adaptation, and like I don't think it's one of the best, better.
It's a vertical line of quality. It's just as bad as the comic.
Yep.
the only writer that ever did anything good with Hush was Paul Dini.
Yep.
And that's why I hate that it's called Hush 2, because it just kind of ignores all of what Paul Dini did with Hush.
I mean, it's also just a stupid title, Hush 2.
It's so dumb, and it basically does ignore everything Paul Dini did with Hush. And I'm like, so you just wiped it all out because you want to like? I caught my words before I said something really offensive. Anyways, I don't like Jeff Loeb. I want him gone.
He's a racist. That's fair.
Like on top of being a racist, he's creatively bankrupt. Like it's just whole Hush 2 thing annoys the crap out of me. All right. Anyways, moving on. If it says what's my thoughts on the Sonic DC comic, it's amazing.
Great. It's so fun.
Incredible. I love it. All right. Let's get into entertainment news. We got big news. There has been a big announcement that Shin Godzilla has been relicensed from Toho by Toho. Because G-Kids acquired the North American distribution rights to Shin Godzilla from Toho. Toho owns G-Kids.
Yeah, I was reading about that. Yeah, I read the article. I was like, wait, Sister acquisition by Toho, and I was like,
Crunchyroll licensed Dragon Ball from Funimation. Like,
yeah, basically,
it's the same level of headline. The good news here is that
I was gonna say, do you know that Pixar short of the old man playing chess with himself?
Yes, that's what this is.
Yes. It's just Toho wearing Groucho Marx glasses on the other side.
Soundout Productions acquires distribution rights to Month of Monsters. Anyways, so G-Kids has acquired North American distribution for Shin Godzilla. They'll be re-releasing it in theaters with a new 4K master that I think is the one that Toho has. It'll be released in North American theaters, I think, in August as a re-release. And then they'll be putting it on Blu-ray later. There has also been officially said that they will be restoring the title text cards that were removed by the Funimation release.
Great.
Which is
good.
Okay. Because Anno's giant text cards is very iconic, and it was weird that they were gone. So
it's really nice because the funny release been out of print for years, so like
Yes.
not only just not only is it gonna be a better release, but it's good to more people can actually pick up this movie, so they can watch it and such.
Yep, and it'll be more available too because Funimation never had it available on streaming. They only had the Blu-ray. So
I mean, it was. I don't think it's on Crunchyroll anymore, but it was on Crunchy. I'll say that because that's how we.
oh, that's right.
It
It was on
dub.
Crunchy for
It
a
was
bit.
dub. Oh, I think it was dub only though
God.
for that release.
God, licensing from Japan is just a weird little nightmare, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can get Gundam Seed Freedom, but only the dub. It's like, okay. All right, let's get to the bigger entertainment news. Tony Chopper has arrived. I will say that I thought as a whole, the Netflix like Tadum event was pretty solid, but they overhyped it massively.
No, definitely. There was some great reveals. There, like we got the dates for files.
But did the One Piece live action Twitter need to post every single day leading up to it and have the cast posting on their social medias and have like a whole promotional video just to be like, and here's Chopper.
I
never saw any of that, so
yeah.
I did love that little promo video they did of like the sleepover.
Yeah, I like that.
I just want to see like shorts like these more. Because I just really
especially because they told us we're not getting season 2 till next year.
I was like, no, but it's like I just like go like, man, I just really love these actors and these characters so much.
They really did a good job. And so Chopper's here. He's doctoring. He's adorable. Michaela Hoover's voicing him, which I think is a really good casting choice.
She played Floor in Guardians 3.
Yeah, she was one of the cute animals in Guardians 3. Yeah.
So it's another cute animal to add to her repertoire.
Another cute animal with a tragic backstory.
She's also doing the mocap, like the facial mocap for him.
I thought was really cool because I didn't expect that. I didn't expect them to go mocap on it, but I'm glad to see Planet of the Apes influence continuing to make it sway through the industry.
How do you feel about him being a CG character instead of a Muppet?
I feel like because I know when they showed us that one teaser shot, that was not a CG character. I have a suspicion it's going to be.
It was probably like the
on-set prop.
Yeah.
Because you know how like Sonic 3 they filmed with those maquettes, but then they also had puppets. Like they literally just had Muppets on set for the actors to interact with.
I want that cut, by the way. Screw the ugly cut. I want the Muppet cut of the time movies.
Hey, maybe Planet of the Apes will make it happen because Planet of the Apes gave us a raw cut with all the VFX, with just the mocap actors on set. Oh, it was the coolest thing ever. But I think, making him full CG is fine. I was only worried about budget. I think him being practical only... You can do practical, like, characters, obviously, like Grogu in The Mandalorian, but he's very small, so, it works. Chopper's got to do a lot of talking. Grogu doesn't say words.
I think also it's due to body shape. Well, they can get away, like, animatronic puppet with Grogu, because he's a potato sack. You can't see anything besides hand. Chopper's has a big belly and thin limbs.
And he has to transform.
That's kind of harder to that's good because it's one of the things where it's gonna cost a lot to make that fully practical.
Yeah.
Because
also remember how the Anime Heroes figure comes with a stand because he can't stand on his own.
Yeah, big head. you need to have like servos behind him so you can knowing because. Versus say another small character like say Chucky from Child's Play, he has pretty thick limbs, so they can kind of get away, sort of make him animatronic. Again, Chopper has very thin limbs, so that's kind of hard to hide. And because at that point you're costing more to CG away the puppeteers and such.
I'm sure they went through all of this thought process, right? Like they probably tested it. They're probably like, oh, could we do it practical? Oh no, we'd have to do this. Oh, we'd have to CG his face anyways. Oh, let's just do it CG.
Also, I was I've seen people say, oh, it's ugly Sonic 2.0. I think some people just don't really? I think he looks fine.
I think he looks like Paddington, and that's a compliment because Paddington's the cutest thing to ever be made.
Some people don't like that for some reason.
Some people don't. I found out people don't like live action Paddington, and I just have to question what is wrong with them. How could you hate that thing? It's the cutest thing ever.
I just feel how do you do transfer Chopper to live action then?
It's like when people call live action Stitch ugly. I'm like, he looks the same. He just got texture.
Yeah. Now live action Jumba on the other hand.
Yeah, Jumba. Yeah. Well, it's all the writing problems behind it too. But welcome, Logic Blaster. Yeah. Blade Raider said Chopper has a body type closer to Jar Jar than Yoda. Yeah, exactly.
Also, his transformation powers also he has to be CG.
It would be funny though if he goes to
Right.
human point and it's just a guy in like makeup. Just get a buff dude and they just paint him looking. They're like, there you go.
Well, that needs to happen.
Reindeer by night.
Yeah. Reindeer by night. Kyle says, I like that he's more akin to how Chopper's design was pre-time skip as opposed to the more chibi proportions after. Yeah, I agree with that too, because I was kind of, I think...
Because Tiny Skin Chopper became just chibi.
Yeah. There was somebody that, what was it? He had like he had this really short-lived form where he had the big horns and it was like his speed form, like post-time skip. And someone was like, I kind of wish this was his default form because he looks older, but not too old to like not still be cute. And I kind of agree with that. But anyways.
Pre Tiny Skin Chopper had a gut. He was kind of, he ate a lot.
He did.
But Tiny Skin Chopper, he's a Nenderite.
Yeah. Now, that being said, you think that would have been the biggest news for me out of Netflix to dumb, being Chopper, because look at him. He's great. No,
So, we were talking about
Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein trailer debut.
Last note on the One Piece thing. I would say I think the hype would have been better. It was a season 2 trailer and not just a Chopper reveal.
Yeah. I guess let me just backtrack this because we didn't really circle back around. Yeah, they hyped it up for so much and they produced like original footage for it and they were making a huge deal out of it. And it was just this Chopper video. I thought when they were doing it, they were going to make either another casting announcement or like they did last year. Last year they announced Robin and Crocodile, right? And so I thought maybe it was a casting announcement or a trailer or a teaser trailer of some kind. Like, this was great, but for the amount of hype they were doing, I was like, could we get a picture of Smoker? Could we get a picture of Robin in costume? Like, it just kind of felt like with how much they were hyping it, it was a little underwhelming. But I still really like what we saw because look at him. It's Chopper.
Anyways,
all right. So Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro.
He's time for him to flex.
That's so cool,
dude. This guy's like this movie is like my most hyped movie of the year now.
Because I was talking to my partner about this film, and I only know Frankenstein. I know it was originally a book, but I only seen the Universal film.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually read the book, and he told me so many things about the book and how much they're bringing into this film, and it's so cool.
The trailer starts with a shot of an ice patch, and I almost just paused it right there and went, I'll just watch the movie because that's all I needed to know. No, they are adapting the book like straight up. The original Frankenstein book has this great like climax to where he creates the monster and tries to and he realizes what he shouldn't have created the monster, and he has to start running from the monster because the monster's unstoppable. And that's a part that didn't make it into the original like Boris Karloff movie, and several adaptations never did that part, and they're doing it here, and I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Essentially, what I like about it is like the classic like blockhead with the bolts on his neck. That was only Universal. So see the Frankenstein monster or just the monster going back to the original like boogeyman, the routes is so cool.
Very patchwork look too.
Yeah. Also the fact that I would say God I why is this not in theaters? Because this film looks gorgeous.
Guillermo said that it is going to be in theaters.
I won't be sorry. It might be a limited.
It might be like Glass Onion, where it's there for a week. That's my guess, because like Netflix has been realizing there's more stuff to do with theaters.
Because this film looks so good.
It does. It's currently slated for release in November. I would guess maybe week of Halloween they do a.
Yeah, but I would say it's like I saw November. It's like, come on, this is perfect for Halloween.
Yeah, that's why I'm guessing maybe what it's going to be is like week of Halloween is going to be your limited release, and then it'll be there next month because they've been doing that. Who's been doing that? Amazon's been doing that with some of their movies. Like they've been putting them out in theaters, and then like a month or so later it'll go on streaming. And like The Accountant 2, for example, The Accountant 2 was like in theaters. It was actually pretty successful, and now it's coming to Prime Video. I think like this week or something like that. So it's kind of like these movies that were technically made for streaming, they're starting to do more theater releases for them, and I think because they realize people are willing to spend money in theaters, let them give you money, So I'm kind of hoping this will get like it's
Oscar
theater
Isaac looks so good as Victor Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he's killing it, and I'm already excited. I'm really excited to see more of it, and I'm really excited to just see the movie, and I really, really hope they let us see it in theaters. and not like a limited like coastal city only kind of thing. Like, please just send it to every theater that has an like they could do it as an IMAX thing too. That would probably work. You know, like the simplest maybe would be like it's an IMAX event, or you know, it's like it'll be in theaters, but you can only catch it for like a week or two. Whatever makes Netflix happy and whatever lets me see it in theaters.
How much did Revenge of Sith made? Only like what, 2 weeks? It was
In like
how
1
long
week,
was?
it made like it ended up in the top 10 movies. And it was a re-release. Yeah, people are willing to go see it in theaters. There is a group of people that are willing to go see things in theaters who give them a chance. So, Netflix, give us a chance. All right, you guys ready for some toy news?
Oh, well, that's what we're all here for, isn't it?
I guess so. All right, I'm more excited about Frankenstein than any of the toys, but that's just because I'm a nerd.
Well, I mean,
Well,
it's
of
cool
course,
finally
the
have a
monster-
book,
I mean, you love your
accurate version.
Yeah,
I mean, you love your monsters.
I love my monsters.
You do.
I love my monsters enough to tank my channel's analytics for a whole month.
Do you
Like,
have the
I know
Abbott
what
and
I'm doing.
Costello movie?
I do.
That I
yes.
have. I love that movie. The one where they meet the Universal monsters.
Yes. One I'm trying to track down is when they meet Boris Karloff, and Boris Karloff is a serial killer, and they're like, it's like literally supposed to be just Boris Karloff, and they think he's a serial killer. I don't actually own that one, but I want it.
You ever seen Monster Squad?
I have not. That's on my list. I don't know how I've never.
Oh, really? Yeah, I said you haven't seen Monster Squad.
Anyways, in the world of Street Fighter, there's no transition here. Vega's here for Street Fighter, Ultra Street Fighter 2. He's going up for pre-order on Friday.
Is his hair actually articulated, or is that just?
I think so.
That's pretty crazy if they actually did that.
It looks like his hair is articulated and his sash is made of cloth.
Hey, Cammy's
that's crazy.
Cammy's hair was posable. So
yeah,
not
because these are like $30, right?
I think Vega's gonna be a deluxe figure. I mean, maybe with tariffs and everything. But like, I think.
Right.
I think Vega is a deluxe figure like Sagat and Blanca.
That makes sense because he looks way too good.
Yeah, he's also taller because he's
Yeah, he's a boss character.
And it looks like he's got. So this is cool. They have the separate mask and then the unmasked head, and then a separate head with the mask on. Plus the claws. There's a separate claw and then a claw molded to a hand.
Oh, like because he can drop it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. That like you can still that way you still get the props. Let's see, what was Sagat's price? Because I don't remember now. Sagat was priced at $35.
Yeah, he was dirty, but due to tariffs,
right. It might probably be like what, 40 or something like that.
I think Vegas should hopefully be 35, but maybe 40, depending.
Let's see. I'm still waiting for Sagat and Blanca to be on my pile of loot.
Does that Sagat come with a stand for the tiger shots?
Yeah, he comes with a stand for the effect. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm won't be surprised if tariffs is the reason why some of these items. I think originally Blanca and Sagat were originally April, then they got pushed to May, and now they've been pushed to June.
Yeah,
Big Bad. So I think that's probably tariffs delaying now. I'm surprised.
I think so. Everything's in like chaos still, so we'll see what happens. But he looks great.
Oh, Jada's doing great.
I'm sure you guys seen video reviews of it, but I've seen reviews of the Storm Arena Ken. I'm like, God damn, I kind of want to get that figure now because that figure looks incredible.
He looks really good next to Iron Man.
Yeah, because that is the design of the Versus games. Because it's the alpha designs.
That's why I have Ryu and Ken on order because I was like, I can put them in the Versus display. That's why I didn't order Sagat though. I was like, I don't need Alpha Sagat. I'll get Street.
Yeah, because Alpha Sagat's not too much different from.
It's just different shorts.
Yeah.
All right. G.I. Joe decided to randomly tweet a picture of Budo.
I think Yo June looks at it was like May. Like Yo June looks at calendar. Wait a minute.
Welcome, AR. They did confirm that the Rattler's shipping out this month. I have to figure out where to put my Rattler.
That was the example. The tariffs are coming. Yeah. Ship it now.
Oh, AR, I had a great vacation. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no. So Budo looks great. He's got like alternate armor parts and stuff. Like they're just going like incredibly hard.
I'm not familiar with Budo, but he honestly just looks like a good like generic samurai dude.
Yeah.
On your shelf.
And I like that he has like the more like G.I. Joe like militaristic kind of like mix armor, and then he's got like the more traditional armor as like options.
Yeah, because like I actually kind of want to pick out just as a generic samurai to like other characters to fight with.
Yeah.
Honestly, he looks really good.
He does. He really does. All right. in the world of Transformers, we got our third wave of Wild King images, which
Repaints. Ahoy!
I think that this is all repaints to kind of fill out the combiners, right?
Yeah, because TJ Omega did a really good video about Wild Kings versus Cyberworld. How technically they're both like budget in between lines. Because I think Earthspark was pretty much canceled abruptly.
Yeah.
Pretty much I think it was the deal right now. So like Cyberworld and Wild Kings were like quickly made pretty much, and then but like Wild Kings is taking advantage of their budget and such like that.
Yeah, like Wild Kings like made like they made this really cool base body, like a couple base bodies, and then just like repainted and retooled stuff to make it work. Whereas Cyberworld's just like recycling old stuff, and the new stuff just doesn't seem like it's that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, this looks great. And so we got Abyss Rain is this dude here, this Energy Beast or Abyss Rain. We've got
Stego.
Yeah, then we got Lav Modulator Wild Docking Set 5, which contains Nemesis Prime and this bull guy, which is cool. And then we've got a Black Megatron that
does the Black Megatron have a main? Because they always
I feel like he should. He comes with a blue saber-tooth tiger.
Because they always do these Megatron like black repaints, and I never know that if this one has a proper name.
It's called Shadow Megatron.
Shadow. What was animated? In the chat was animated the first to do like a Shadow Megatron. Because I remember that was the one I remember the first one that did, but I know the other toy lines did. I kind of in my head unintentionally call it just Megatron X from Cyberverse because that's the only canonical black Megatron we have seen in media and such.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. Blade Raider said Skybite and Heatwave hit BBTS today. Yeah, I got that little surprise. It's like Skybite's here, and I'm like, oh okay.
Like, again, the tariffs are coming. The tariffs are coming. It's
yeah.
Yeah, like you guys are saying, yeah.
Yeah, everything's just been being pushed through at the moment.
But it's just like, make sure you have the cash for it. I mean, obviously, but
yeah,
man.
Like I got Black Cat. The Spider-Man 2 stuff just are now arriving out of nowhere for people. Like I got Black Cat last week.
I got Black Cat like 2 weeks ago.
No, it was 2 weeks. I had her for 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I got her like right after I came back from my trip. Oh, K-Master said thoughts on 86 Megatron. I want to see the full reveal and accessories and stuff before we talk about it. But from what we've seen from the leaks, it looks good. I just didn't want to show the images from the leaks because of who leaked it.
Yeah, I would say like I definitely might replace my Siege Megatron with him because he just looks actually really good.
I'm definitely buying him because like Siege Megatron pisses me off now.
I think it also helps. I think he's a leader, no commander.
Yeah, he's a leader. So it's a lot less of a price investment.
Yeah, thank God.
Yep. All right, next up in the world of Super Sentai, we have a Memorial Edition Power Base.
Oh god, Kyle made a good point. I would they have all the MC figures come in July. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked either. Yeah, so we have the 30th anniversary. It's not actually called a Memorial Edition. It's called the 30th anniversary edition of the Power Brace from O-Ranger, which is actually larger than the deluxe toy. I think it's 100%, 110% larger compared to the deluxe toy.
Anyone in the chat, is that the same size as the Legacy Zeonizer or no? Because I know that one was also scaled up.
It might be around the same size, but it's definitely a different mold. It's not like a SSA Dino Buckler.
Yeah, it's definitely his own unique mold.
So it doesn't have any voices from the cast, but it does have a motion sensor option, so you can actually do the pose.
So it's like the Legacy, because the Legacy Zeonizer also had that also.
Yeah, so it's got that going for it, which I think is cool. It's got music tracks from the show, including Niji no Crystal Sky, which is the actual theme song of the show.
Does it have weird Hispanic music?
It probably does. It probably does. I like where they hit the BGM button like right on one of the corners, which I thought was really smart.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that would be a loop. That would be a loop in Go Kaiju because every other whenever they turn to the past Sentai, they played the theme song.
Yeah,
but Orange is different for some reason.
Yeah,
I want to know
because the reason why there's like a whole complicated mess with O-Ranger's theme song, but instead of playing their theme song, they played Niji no Crystal Sky, which was supposed to be the theme song. but there was like a licensing thing, so it became an insert song. And every time in the show that they would normally, like in the Sentai format, when you'd expect the theme song to play, they would play Niji no Crystal Sky instead. So it became the theme song in everybody's hearts.
Wait, is that the theme song they play in Gokaiger?
Yeah, that's the one that played in Gokaiger.
Okay, I actually never knew that. I didn't even know there was a weirdness with the Oranger theme song.
Yeah, there's a whole bit of weirdness with its opening, its ending, and like record labels. I'll have to find the blog post about it.
But is that just that? Because I really like Oranger theme song. Just that dash.
Yeah.
Let
me see if I can find this thing. Right. It was on an old blog.
And that's why I felt like we had two Sentais back with weird Hispanic like musical themes. You had the Ole, and then the Cockroach is weird Hispanic henshin music.
Yeah, if you guys go on CC Lemon's blog, I'm gonna link it in the chat. Hey, Common Jojo, CC Lemon's a member of the Toku fandom who does a lot of coverage of like CD releases.
I haven't heard of him in years. I remember back in the day they used to do videos of all the Sentai changers. God, that's childhood right there.
Yeah, so basically I linked an article from his blog, and he's got like links to other articles he's done talking about the weirdness about the O-Ranger songs, if anyone's interested. It's bonkers. So, the next piece of toy news, you guys ready for this? We got like a ton of Figuarts.
Yep, I don't know where.
I think I hate Figuarts. Like, this is ridiculous.
I mean, like, the figures themselves are good, but the prices are getting too nuts.
The prices are getting too nuts, and the quantity is out of control. I'm loading up links right now, and you guys will have to wait a moment. Actually, while we wait, Common Jojo asks, "Will you guys react to Summer Games Fest?" Kaus, that's a your category question.
We actually talked about this. We decided not to. I'm already in the middle of streaming something else. B, we tend to just dunk on the presentation. Keeley, exactly. Yeah. So we're like, it's really not.
And there's no Muppets this time around.
We will be watching it and talking about it amongst ourselves. But yeah, we're not gonna be streaming it.
There's no Muppets saved.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
I do.
Muppets were there. I know. I'd stream it.
I know that's something we've talked about before. Like when we stream those things, sometimes it just becomes a bitch fest for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why we decided not to always stream, because we like with the Game Awards, we're just like we just like you said, we just complain the whole time. So
yeah. But do you all guys agree? Do you guys like guys Muppets?
Yeah, no, that's kind of how it happened. Like, didn't the Sparking Zero trailer drop during the Game Awards? And we weren't streaming it, but we were watching it together. And every time a game popped up that was like a first-person shooter, we just switched tabs.
Yeah, we were like, go.
We just switched tabs and watched the Sparking Zero trailer again.
Did you go back when the Muppets were on screen?
Yes, we always came back for the Muppets. That was always the reason. It was half the reason I watch. Actually, it's the entire reason I watch them, to be honest. I will say for Summer Games Fest, I am excited that CD Projekt Red is going, because I'm curious to see what they got to show.
Well, it's gonna be Witcher 4. I'm pretty sure, because they revealed that a while ago. So.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, because I think seeing a Witcher 4 after them working on Cyberpunk could be really, really cool. So,
have you any interest in the Witcher?
I played a bit of 3. I don't know if I'd ever play the rest of them because they're really long, and I don't vibe with the setting as much as I did Cyberpunk.
And also, like, the first 2 games are very different from 3 and that show. So
I did play a bit of 3 prior to Cyberpunk to see if I would like the CDPR RPG style. And I was like, I like this style. I'm just not like vibing with the setting and the characters as much. And so when Cyberpunk came around, I was like, because I was excited for that. I was like, well, do I like their gameplay style? I was like, I kind of like this. And so then playing Cyberpunk, I'm like, oh yeah, I see the similarities. But so it's like one of those things where I want to see what they do with Witcher 4, less so for like the love of Witcher, but more so to see like, okay, so then what are they going to do to take from there to go to Cyberpunk Orion?
They confirmed they are going to do a sequel to Cyberpunk.
They are officially in pre-production for Cyberpunk Orion, and Mike Pondsmith, the creator of Cyberpunk, was talking in an interview, and he accidentally let it slip they're doing a second city in the game.
Whoops.
So he was like, it's like Chicago, but if Chicago was a dead zone, and everyone's like, so Chicago?
I'm about to say Chicago. I've been there.
As
Oh
somebody
no,
who's lived
that's
there
right. I remember now. The exact phrase was Chicago gone wrong.
already. Like,
Yeah, but so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that they're working on pre-production, so they're working with him, because he's still involved with the franchise and stuff, which is great. Blade Raider only has 3 episodes left of Muppets Tonight. Sounds like tonight's your night to finish Muppets Tonight. Let's get to these Figuarts. All right, SH Figuarts, Joseph Joestar. People that know JoJo, talk to me. How do you feel about it?
I like going backwards where you're starting with part 2 instead of part 1.
I actually didn't know which one came first. I just picked randomly.
yeah,
he looks great. I think like the sculpt looks great, and it looks like he has some great articulation. Because look, JoJo has those crazy poses. I'm pretty sure
he got that snatched waist.
Yep. My only problem.
That's right. Common JoJo's the one that can claim being the JoJo guy. It's in the name.
Yeah. My only complaint with Joseph specifically is his accessory loadout is pretty small, and like I know like, you see that like you color a lot. Well, I think it's more like
he's just got hands and balls.
Yeah, he
the
comes
clackers,
with,
yeah.
he comes with clackers, but I think my biggest problem is he
Your next
only
line
your next line. He only comes with 3 faces, which is very low for Joseph. What John did, which
he has, I know, right?
Yeah,
Joseph
Joseph's a very expressive.
Yep.
He's a very expressive character, and like with John, and I don't mind him having 3 faces.
He's very,
like,
he's more stoic, and
but Joseph
Jotaro too. But
yeah, but Joseph William Tree is so weird because he's a very expressive character, and I think especially the accessory I wish he came with, and I'm gonna say this in a non-context, no spoiler, but I wish he came with a alternate head with his headband on, and people who know JoJo Part 2 know what I'm talking about.
I know. Yep.
Yeah, and because that's a very key thing, especially in the later half of Part 2, and I feel like he's missing that. Also, especially when we get to Jonathan, no Harmon effects is weird. And I'm saying this because he costs the same as Jonathan, but he comes with less. Like, I know he comes with looks like a bendy wire scarf, but...
I hope that scarf is not as frustrating to use as Ace's scarf.
Because this game is more bulky. This looks a little more smaller.
Yeah. Also, we were asking if they were going to make the stands, and look! They made stands for JoJo.
That's cool.
This Tamashi stage just...
Well, this is before the stand out, so that doesn't count.
it's like that old thing of like, where's the Sonic 3 trailer? It's like a trailer that has Sonic 3 written on the side. It's the JoJo stand. I know nothing about this. Anyway.
There's vampire Santa, you'll like it.
Yay! All right, and then next up, Jonathan Joestar, who is
his British grandpa.
Yes,
well, they're both British.
Oh God, is there like a ethnic blend the way that like Desmond's line in Assassin's Creed is?
Well, let's see. They start off British, then 3rd generation. The daughter marries a Japanese person, so it goes to then we get to the Japanese side of the family, but then we get to Girono, which is a whole other topic alone. So it's a interesting family tree.
This is reminding me a bit of like how Desmond from Assassin's Creed was like, oh, he has Arab ancestry. He's also Native American. He also has British somewhere in there. Like,
I mean, geez, hey,
and also Italian. I forgot the Italian part.
That's basically me right there. Like,
I'm
not saying it's unrealistic. It's just kind of a funny thing that like.
In other this guy just dropped unrelated other Shonen Jump because I saw Robot put on Discord. And other Shonen Jump related news of Figuarts. We're getting Haikyuu Figuarts which if you don't know, that's one of Shonen Joe's big popular.
Oh, that's the volleyball one. Yeah,
that's the volleyball one. So that's surprising to see. So that's more of the Shonen Jump cataloging Figuarts.
Everybody's telling me this is Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah, he was playing with Johnny in the dub.
Cool.
Which, we have funny British accent.
I would hope so.
I like Jonathan a lot.
But yeah, Jonathan, he looks definitely value-wise. He go to accessories. He definitely comes a lot more.
Oh yeah, I haven't been flipping through photos at all for him. What the hell? Just like listening to all the lore. I just forgot to flip through the photos.
But like, because he costs the same as Joseph, but he
has like swords and effects and stuff.
Yeah, like that's my problem with Joseph. Johnny comes with all this stuff. Yeah, he comes with the stand, three faces, which this works with him because he's more stoic. Because hell, Rocky even said that in one of his interviews that he made John and Joestar supposed to be just the heroic hero guy. That's
Yeah.
his role in the story. But so him having only like three faces is fine. But yeah, he comes with the sword, he comes with a backpack, he comes with Harmon effects. I think that's what my problem with Joseph is. If John didn't come with as much, and with the same price, I wouldn't have problems with Joseph. But if it seemed John with these big effects, and you could reuse the Harmon effects. That's the yellow lightning, by the way.
Yeah.
For Joseph, because they both use Harmon.
But it sucks that
I
you
just
have to only get one. You only get one set. Yeah.
yeah. It's the classic figure DLC scenario.
But it's also like they could have just packed those in a second time if they're the same effects.
Well, yeah, though it won't fully work because Joseph's powers are, even though the same, he uses them differently. He uses where John didn't use big bursts like that through his whole arms. Joseph used his powers through his fingers. So.
Still, for 11,000 yen, you think they could have thrown in a couple effect parts?
Yes, yeah, that's my problem with Joseph and such. I still want to get them because I love JoJo, but those prices are expensive. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's like my love for Hellboy and how like the 1,000 toys Hellboy and Ape Sapien were like way more expensive than they should have been, but I did it anyways. And then I was like, I'll buy the Lobster Johnson. And then the price went up by the time they finally got back to Lobster Johnson 5 years later, to the point where I'm like, I can't do it. I can't spend 160 bucks on a 1,000 toys figure. They're not that good. Anyways, Cal, any final thoughts on JoJo 1 and 2?
I like them a lot. Shoot, the price. That's the only thing that's bugging me. But because I've been wanting these figures forever. Do you know how little figures have been for JoJo?
Is it like how I'm still waiting for a Devilman figure?
No, like there are been JoJo.
There's been some.
Yeah, but the problem is they're very limited.
Is it like how there's barely any Planet of the Apes toys, considering it's been around like 60 years?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I understand. I understand that completely. I was at local toy shops over the weekend, and I found one Planet of the Apes item, and it was an old Mego accessory. All right. We have a new Krillin. This is Krillin, Son Goku's old friend, which is supposed to. When they teased it, I was kind of hoping it would be a Dragon Ball era Krillin, but it was actually another Frieza saga.
This is Namek Krillin. Also, I guess Saiyan Saga. So Krillin.
Yeah. Early Z.
No blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And why does he cost more? Why does he cost $30 more than the previous Krillin?
Because he comes with a penis.
Yeah, but that one comes with.
I just can't unsee it. Like.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people have been saying
that effect needed to be a little farther apart and a little bit longer. I know that makes it sound like it'd be worse, but it really would help. It really would help.
Yeah, I know, but like the Android Saga one comes with a giant Destructo disc also.
The Android Saga one comes with a Destructo disc, got more technically has more joints. And,
and
it's like $50, right? And he's like retail.
I look at the accessories, both of them, and this one only has one more extra head. That's it. They have the same amount of hands. They both come with energy effects.
Does he come with this Dragon Ball?
No, that's only photo. I check the accessory. What was the accessory loadout?
Oh my god,
that's just.
They just like hope you have the figure from forever ago that came with the ball.
Yeah, I don't understand why this is $80 because I love Krillin, but like he's a small character.
I don't love Krillin this much.
Yeah, and also like goddamn, where am I getting Krillin that pairs with 18? Because the only one we have really is what I get. No, what outfit did Krillin wore during Tournament of Power? Was it this outfit?
No.
Don't check.
No, because we don't even have Tournament 18. Never mind then. We don't even have the outfit. No, we do. Oh yeah, we do.
They made 17 and 18. We don't have Roshi.
Yeah, no,
we don't have Tien.
Well, we have Dragon. We have the Dragon Stars to Roshi.
Yeah, that's a cheat, but like we don't have Tien in the right outfit.
Yeah, because wasn't Tien the white tank top?
Yeah.
For a tournament.
Because all we got for Tien is the shirtless and then the green sash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want Krillin with hair. And the red gi and sweatpants.
I want Krillin to go with 18 so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, I just don't get how he's $80.
Yeah, he's too, especially compared to, again, I don't think one extra head means much. $30 more
Usopp
expensive
is
than the
like
previous one.
60,
Yeah, and he comes with more
like
accessories.
way more. Yeah, when will we get in Moro SHF? Never.
Then they can't
Because
touch manga
they
stuff.
can't
They
touch
can't
manga stuff, and until the rights dispute gets settled, they can't adapt the manga. So, Psycho says, "What's the difference with this figure and the other one?" This one is a different mold, but it comes with the same amount of accessories and it's more expensive.
the one the original the other Krillin is based off his Android Saga look, where he has the
Yeah.
blue shirt underneath his orange gi.
Peacemaker
he
says
also has,
Dragon Ball tax. It could be a bit of Dragon Ball and P Bandai tax.
Yeah, is he a
Give me
P-minus
vibes
exclusive?
of when Pan was $50.
Oh god, that's the worst. Both of them, both
Blade Raider
Pans.
brings up a good point. How have we not gotten 18 in her black vest outfit? It's the outfit she
I
spends most of the
know.
Cell Saga in. I agree. It's the most influential. It's the one Supergirl wore.
Yeah, or the Blue Saga outfit with just the black
Yeah.
Some people think, because people think the Blue Saga outfit's the same as Android. No, because Android's blue skirt, jean skirt versus blue jeans and such.
All right,
Made
moving
it
on.
shorter. Yep.
Just in case you're not spending enough on Dragon Ball, you can drop $310 on Guru.
Everyone say with me.
Nah, that's why we got Nail, right? So we could get Guru.
$300 Guru.
So Guru doesn't come out till March next year. Nice, we're doing 10-month out pre-orders. He's basically a statue, but his arms do articulate, and he's got some alternate faces. And he is appropriately sized, which is really cool. This image is hilarious to me because this image will cost you $900.
Yeah, because Nail's like 80 also, right?
Nail's like 80, Krillin's like 80, and Dende's only included in the $300 Purunga set.
Purunga.
This is like a $900 photo they're showing us right here.
I know,
Man.
right?
I feel like I'm losing a fortune just looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm so
Now,
much.
I know he's big, but is he $300 big or what's up
It's
with that?
because I'm so fat.
Kyle says, so is Guru a dubism considering his name is Saichoro here? Yes. Because
Grand
he's
Elder,
supposed
I
to be
believe.
Great Elder. That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Look at him getting a special fancy name.
so the funny part about the image is they don't tell you he has a light gimmick in his hand.
Yep.
It just, you could barely see it on Gohan's freaking forehead here. But he has a light gimmick in his hand. Let's see, what are we at? I think they don't even explain. Here, sound and lighting. Not only does the figure offer the movement and shaping only Figuarts can provide, bitch, those are Kenner joints. Sorry. It also features sound and light gimmicks. By touching the sensor on the Grand Elder Guru's stomach. It's funny they put Grand Elder Guru in the comments. Anyways, the figure can play a number of lines of dialogue. There's also a potential power release mode as well. In addition to the Grand Elder Guru's dialogue, there's light sound effects, lightning effects, and using hand parts to recreate scenes where you draw out Krillin and Son Gohan's potential powers. God, it's so weird saying Krillin and Son Gohan's. Like, it's just like we're getting to Digimon levels of like, who cares what the names are?
Unlock the potential man in you also.
Yes. Every time like Bandai interchanges like Omnimon and Omegamon at the same time of like they'll be like Gatomon evolves into Holy Dramon, and I'm just like, yep, I'm vindicated for just mixing the names up all the time. Nobody cares.
Oh, yeah, that meme. Hey, call and see. Nobody cares.
Exactly. So if you need to bolster your Dragon Ball collection, head over to P Bandai. Do they still charge you $10 for shipping?
For this giant
Let
name.
me go see. I'm just really curious. Item total discounts. Actually, let me switch screens here so I don't dox myself. I'm gonna go into the checkout and see if I can get charged me for shipping. I'm really curious. I'm really curious if you still have to pay $10 for shipping.
It's because he's so fat.
I gotta say though, they could have charged you like 50 because of how big he is. So I'll give them credit for at least it sticking to 10. You know, like they kept it, baseline.
All the water I drank to kill the other Namekians.
He killed everyone's wallets. All right, let's move over to the Toku side where things are confusing and weird. Ultraman Tiga Multi-Type Seiho is getting a new version called the Star of Ultra Edition. We're sorry
for the rubber torso.
They're like, we're sorry for the rubber torso.
This right there.
This is a redo of Tiga that's based on his second suit actor who was thicker than his first one.
This one's more swole.
Yeah. So it's
I think
kind of
the- I
it's
think-
kind of interesting
isn't this-
because I looked at it and I think they just took the power type mold and then just made it normal colors.
Is this also? I think it was the same Tiga suit actor that played him in the Superior 8 Ultra Brothers. I want to say
Yes,
also.
Super 8 Ultra Brothers, the Tiga and Dyna movie, like pretty much all the post-show stuff. I think this is like the Tiga to be post-show Tiga. There he is shaking hands with Man. It is kind of an apology Tiga. The bummer part is he's 9,900 yen in a Tamashi web shop exclusive on P Bandai.
Oh yeah, he's in Seho, unfortunately, so he's gonna be more expensive.
Yep, he is listed as getting a US release, but there's no P Bandai US page. So if Bandai ever wants to put pre-orders back up for their product, maybe he'll come out as a retail.
I'm thinking of sticking with the Figuarts standard key I bought a few weeks ago that I soon needed built.
I think I'm just going to keep my box, like my clear box he's in, sealed and call it a day. I don't really feel like rebuying it.
He belongs in a museum, Soundout.
Yes, exactly. All right. If you missed out on the Seiho Kamen Rider 1, they're re-releasing him as the Showa Masked Riders edition. This will be a retail release for 11,000 yen, so he costs like 30. I think I calculated like 37% more than the last release. So you know where prices are going up.
Is this one based off the Shin? Because what was the original one based off the Black Helmet one, or was it the same color scheme? Was it
the original one? This is the same color scheme. They've done this mold in every variation they could. I don't know what this third image is though. Like, why is he doing disco?
Ole!
Ole! He saw the O Ranger announcement, was happy. Yeah, and so his bonus though is he comes with a stand, like a little stage, so that he can stand on it. Yeah, he's expensive. My Showa Rider Figuarts are like dying, but I just cannot justify these prices, especially because we're still missing like some of them in Seiho, so it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's a mess. Also, Kamen Rider 2 got re-released.
I mean, you haven't got V3 yet. I think that shows how much prices are getting out of hand if you haven't got V3.
Exactly. Also, because he was P Bandai and they didn't bring him over, so that made it really hard. Now, Kamen Rider 2 does not come with a big stage to justify his price, but he does come with the black helmet, so you have both helmet options. Let me double check that he actually does come with the black helmet, because
his go orange gloves of justice.
Interchangeable head part, yeah. So he does come with the black helmet as an option, which is nice. All right, and then to go with it, you get the new Cyclone, which you'd have to buy 2 of to support your both riders, because they use the same exact bike. So,
ouch.
Yep. That is 9,900 yen. So, as we've established, we had 11,000 yen. The black helmet, for everyone that was wondering, after the original series, every time that Kamen Rider 2 would show up, he would basically have the black helmet, so that way it was a quicker visual distinction between the characters, especially when they didn't have the actors back. They wanted people to recognize which one was Ichigo and which one was Nigo based on the helmet color.
I'm Warrior Commander 1. I'm Warrior Commander 2.
Exactly, yeah. So, pricing-wise, 11,000 yen, 11,000 yen, 9,900 yen, and then we got a Seiho Shocker Combat Man for 7,150, which is like the cheapest figure art we've looked at today. Which is nice.
Good luck trying to army build him still with that price.
Yeah, good luck trying to army build, but at least they made it a little bit more affordable. Unfortunately, he's only released in Japan and Asia.
Can't tell the not Nazi man.
I guess not.
I guess.
And then with all this said, the most expensive figure art, not named Guru, that we're talking about today is Aka Ranger from Goren Sentai, what's the name called? What's the show called? Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger. We've been teased about this, and he is 13,200 yen.
Hold on, let me do the conversions. How much that in how much is that in USD?
I think it's like $92 USD before shipping and taxes and tariffs.
Tariffs. Let's see. 13. That's $92.57, and that's not counting taxes and tariffs
and shipping.
And shipping.
He looks nice. He looks great. He's got a cloth wired cape, which is nice. He actually comes with all the weapons. So he's got the pistol. He's got the whip. He's got his like visor piece. He's got his staff. He even comes with the Goren Hurricane, right? Like the football. He comes with an extra hand specifically to shake hands with Ichigo. And then he comes with a stand that says Go Ranger, or it has the 50th anniversary logo of Sentai on it, because they're not making the other Go Rangers. and so they show him being posed with Goju Wolf. It looks nice, but I that is a lot of money for one guy, and I think yeah.
I think it's so bizarre because you think Bandai would make the Sentai ones cheaper because I
They're
think
simpler.
even knows that, and also Sentai doesn't make the money it used to.
And they can only
such.
sell it in Japan and Asia. They can't sell it outside, so you think they would be
Yeah,
a bit cheaper to
but
encourage sales. But it does feel like, just like with Goju Wolf, they marked it up because they can only sell it in a couple regions. So they're trying to
also
make
maybe
more money on smaller units.
also anniversary. I'm also realized because of
Yeah.
anniversary item also. Those usually get double price because anniversary. and such
Like, it
shit.
comes with a stand, it comes with a ring. I'm like, yeah, why is it this much though? Like, Goju Wolf being more expensive than Spider Kuminos is wild, considering Kuminos is P Bandai. It is nice though that Aka Ranger is retail, so hopefully he's a little bit more available. But also, not mentioned in this stream because it'd be kind of pointless. Just to even hammer home, welcome Cliver's Collection. Even to hammer home the point that there's too many damn Figuarts going up at once, they're reissuing Seiho Ultraman, Romanced on Luffy Zoro Nami, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, 4th Form Frieza, Bulma, Bulma's Bike, and Shenron as part of the batch that includes everything we talked about, plus last week's stuff like Usopp.
So wait, which I find odd because Zoro unless like he sold out immediately.
Yeah, he only
like,
came out like
right,
4 months ago.
and like last month for international people.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And same with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. That got recently re-released also in the States, also worldwide.
Yeah, and then
and Luffy and Nami, I thought they were I thought they were widely available. So we just seen them get released.
it is nice though, I guess, if you can't find them and like they're putting out Usopp, they're at least like servicing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that. Yeah, that's probably that makes sense why they released the other three with Usopp. Which Bulma? So because Bulma is that Dragon
it's
Ball
the
Bulma?
pink dress Bulma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and her bike. Yeah, that makes
And their
sense.
bike, yeah.
And I guess, which I find weird they released those two and not Namek Bulma because
Yeah,
of like
with all the Namek they're doing.
Because I'm assuming Shinron's also because of the Namek stuff.
Yeah.
Namek surprised it's not Purunga. Purunga also because of
Yeah, but I guess
the-
because Purunga and Namek Bulma were P Bandai.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were okay.
Regular
Seiya
Shenron was
Ultraman-
retail.
I also get Seiya Ultraman to go alongside Tiga.
Yeah, because they were putting with
so-
T. I Seiho Ultraman I got. I understood why they were doing that. The Dragon Ball ones feel a little more random.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some Sailor Moon reissues. There's also some Robot Damashi. I just didn't care enough to put them in. But the point is, they put up a ton of figures for pre-order. It's too much. Let's talk about a company that's spacing out their pre-orders with Marvel Legends.
It still has back. It's still a lot.
It's still a lot, but like it's at least you don't have to like try to order them all at the same time. Fighter Cows, do you know anything about Marvel vs. Capcom?
No, we can't say that, Senna. We can't say that.
Because legally we're not allowed to say that we know anything about Marvel vs. Capcom. We have to now refer to the Marvel vs. Capcom series as that classic arcade game.
No, I love it. I saw where it's Marvel versus Marvel Gamerverse.
Yeah.
I do know Capcom presents Marvel Comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. That's actually, I think, the legal name now at this point. Let's get to the first things.
This whole stream is the awesome power due to international copyright law. We legally
Yeah.
can't say it.
Run like it is Godzilla, even though it isn't.
Let's see. Falcons Fun said, "Is this the first Hasbro Gamerverse wave not actually attached to any game?" Yes.
Legally, yes.
Legally, yes. They don't have a game logo on the box. It just says Gamerverse.
Yep.
Anyways, Dwight and Dan ran this one. And first up, they showed the Fantastic Four Marvel Legends for the movie, which I think look great. I'm actually pretty happy. I mean, I also ordered all of them. So we got Invisible Woman here.
I really wish they packaged Sue differently because, man, there's a lot of empty space in her packaging.
Anything that you think should be there is actually invisible. Anyways, so she's got, you got your shield effect, pretty standard. I like how it has like looks like impacts, like little tiny explosions.
I like it's different from the previous shield effects. It's not just a reuse; they could easily done.
Yeah. And I think the only complaint I have is that, and I'm glad it's like they solved a problem, but they created another issue. Is that On the previous Sue, they made the shield effect after they were using the generic female Marvel hands, so then you had to like put her like shield effect onto her gummy fingertips, and then it just falls off
it was
easily.
very unwieldy.
This one has a peg that goes straight into the palm, but that means she has no wrist bend. So if you want to use that palm for anything else, it has to be out in stop in the name of love pose and only. Like it doesn't have any movement. It's like the recent Iron Mans that are locked wrists.
Yeah.
I hate that.
At least they molded a hand in there, thankfully, so it doesn't look like she's missing a hand.
yeah. I'm glad they did that, but that's I guess my only complaint with her. Otherwise, I think she looks good. There's been some memes about the likenesses on these figures. It's been really funny.
Some of them are okay. Some of them are, like, I think she's one of the better ones of the wave. I would say that.
Who was
also,
it?
man, they need to get better lighting because some of the lighting.
Okay, so they actually, I want to speak on this because I'm a lighting guy. They changed the lighting on this stream than they had in any others. They added, like, I don't know, like a 1200K like LED spotlight directly above the stage, right?
Yeah, because it makes Sue's hair, like, because you notice in the box, it's more how the actress's hair is more like that, more whitish blonde.
Yeah.
But with the light glowing down, it's like her hair is yellow.
And it also made every figure look like a PNG. And so, if people were weirded out by it, but it's what it is that they put this light directly above, so it shines down and eliminates all shadow. There is no shadow on this anymore, and that's why everything looks weird. I think it's not a bad idea because it's like we had issues with shadows on previous streams. I think they just need to turn the temperature down. It's just too bright.
They really just need to do is like 360. Take the figures and just put them on a rotating base and just film them 360.
Yes,
like because I know they do that for the CG render, the CG models.
But like do it with the actual toys.
Toys, yeah. I think that'll be better. Like get a white box, get a turntable, and just film just like a quick like 360 shot while you're talking with the figure. I think that would have been better, honestly.
So the next figure we got is Johnny Storm. He's not flamed on. Mr. Doogie says, "So we stop putting out CG concepts as real figures? No, let's make our live streams look like renders." Yeah, no, it is really funny because it has this uncanny nature where Johnny doesn't look like he's here. Because it's just there's no shadow, there's zero shadow. I think Johnny looks fine. I think someone said he looked like B. Arthur, and I can't unsee it.
It also goes with the classical generic flame effects.
Yeah. And then these are all, there's no Build-A-Figure. These are all like retail figures. We get a Flame On Human Torch, which actually leaked because Pulse put the page up early.
I do like, someone mentioned this before, but I like how they did, the way how the suits look.
Yes.
I like the way how the suits are textured. It looks like the comic, like how Johnny's drawn the comic sometimes with the lines through his body. I kind of think that was a clever
that was a really smart like costume design choice. And it translated really well into toys.
I would say that I feel like he's a little too red. I know they said there's shading in there, but it's hard to tell with some of these renders. And especially because I think Diamond, who did it? I think Diamond, who put out those statues recently that accidentally spoiled the character in the movie. They did their way how they did Human Torch was a bit better, where there's more shading. Like it was like instead of a red, it was more of an orangey red, like orange reddish shade, where there's definitely more definition. Yeah, this one just looks just like.
I think I also would have liked, and this is kind of an issue I have with the other ones as well, is I kind of would have liked a little bit more flame on the biceps, the thighs, and the chest.
Yeah, that's always kind of a problem I have with some Human Torch figures, where it looks like a man on fire and more like a Jolly Rancher man with flame effects.
And I think also it's because they're just straight reusing the mold from the. They're obviously sharing the mold between the two Johnnies, so everything that we see for fire is like an add-on piece. But I would have liked more add-on, Next up, we had Silver Surfer, which was actually, I was surprised they showed her next. This Silver Surfer is a bit revolutionary for one reason. She comes with holding hands.
Because that's the thing, she is kind of distracting, honestly, this way, because she clearly is using the the generic female Legends mold, which looks weird next to the hyper,
because she's a comic. Yeah, she's using a comic mold on
It reminds me.
Who used? It was like when Comic Mary Jane used the Jessica Jones mold or something.
Or in the comic and in the I think it was the Mandroid Bathway. No, not Mandroid. It was the Red Onslaught, the Red Skull Onslaught way, where they use a movie Black Widow on comic Sharon Carter.
Yep. And it just looked
Back in the
wrong. Because
day.
the scaling's all different.
Yeah, and the proportions and everything. Because this is
Yeah.
clearly, stylized, curvy woman. And then you point next to Sue, and you're like, my God, woman.
Yeah. The other thing that's
It's
interesting is that she does have the toes sculpted in, which is new.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
new.
biggest thing
I
is she
hope-
comes with a stand for her surfboard.
Oh wait, because I think this was it's actually speaking of female legends, because I think she was announced when you're on vacation.
Oh, Shauna.
Thoughts on Shauna? This quick thoughts on
Shauna looks
since
great.
you were-
Want to see the full reveal, like what wave she's a part of and stuff, because they didn't show her for some reason.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't realize they didn't show her off.
They didn't
today,
show her at the
yeah.
stream, even though they announced her ahead of time.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm just glad we're getting Shauna.
I feel bad for anybody who didn't pick up Kazar and the Zabu Build-A-Figure way.
Anyways, it's really cool that we got a stand for the surfboard, because the only other time we
do
got
love
it was the
that.
Haslab.
I do love that because Silver Surfers are hard to display because you kind of need a stand,
Yeah.
a flight to stand for them. So
Toy
it's good
Biz
to have
understood this, and they
something.
did it with every one of them.
Yep.
So I'm glad to see we
Yeah,
finally get into that.
I think she looks great.
She also comes with a gripping hand, so she can hold the surfboard, which is nice.
Mhm.
And then here's the thing.
Finally.
Sorry,
say
I
that
have to do it
again.
every time. Every time.
Say that-
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I have to do it every time. Anyway,
Say that again.
I know. I do it because of Immortal Hulk, because they like Al Ewing dropped that title page. It was like, and so here's the thing. It's just Ben Grimm.
Say that again. I really like Ben Grimm.
He looks great.
I like, because I know some of you don't like his deep, obvious deep cuts to articulation, but for a bulky character, that's honestly better.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the range than to not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think
How else
also
is he gonna clobber?
Exactly.
also shirtless Ben. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would
Showing-
expect a variant where he's got a shirt coming down the line, just like
Showing them
I
rock-
expect Invisisu to come with her kid.
Yeah,
'Cause-
showing them rock pecs. I would say, because it made me realize with this Ben, and also similar to with this Ben as being the same scale as everybody else, but also the Lego minifig Ben that came in the recent Galactus set. Have you seen that, right?
Yeah.
That maybe some people said with the Lego one, going like, why wasn't Ben a big figure? And not only because how it costs to make the set skyrocket price, but also made me realize in the movie and just in general. But speaking of the movie, Ben's actually the same size as everybody else. He's the thing about Ben.
Because the thing it's been misconstrued over the years because of varying comic artists and like ways animated shows in particular have done him. When he
Ben's
debuted, he was just supposed to be the same height he was before, and then he just got rocky.
Ben's not the Hulk. He's not like a
No.
Hulk. Like he's not Ben's. Again, Ben's not a monster. Like he just rock dude.
Yeah.
like the only
Ben Grimm is like 6'2", college football linebacker, but like he's not like 8-9 feet tall and like super huge. That's just something that's kind of evolved over time. But
he's like super wide, wide, but like
wide,
giant,
not taller. Yeah,
and such like that. So that's the thing about Ben Grimm. Yeah, I like when he's like the same size, because that's the show. That's the thing about Ben. He's supposed to be he's still a human being, just rock.
And the movie's doing a good job of that. So I think the figure doing it, and the Lego. I think the Lego figure. The reason it looks weird is because they tried to give him big hands.
Yeah,
I kind of wish I wouldn't have bothered. It just looks so weird. Because like his little hat and his little gloves just like kind of throw him off a little bit. Yeah. Blade Raider. Rocky. Ben was supposed to be a flying squirrel. Deep cartoon cuts. All right. And then rounding out the wave was Mr. Fantastic, who has stretchy arms. Thank God.
Thank God, finally.
I've been wanting stretchy arms again since the only time we got it was with the Walgreens one.
Yeah, no stupid salad fingers.
Yeah, I hate stupid fingers.
How do you feel about the head skull? Because
it's okay.
It's one of the things where I think the in person looks better than the renders. Because oh boy, those renders don't look good.
I will say that like they have made like 6 or 7 unmasked Din Djarin's, and none of them look like Pedro Pascal. So you might just have a Mark Hamill face.
Yeah.
Kyle, what happened to his cosmic light powers? Yeah, I think Pedro Pascal's just got one of those faces. But look, they look great together. I like them. All right, they're up for pre-order now. Let's get into the gamerverse of it.
Oh boy!
Oh boy! So they announced Wolverine and Silver Samurai from that classic arcade game.
Yep.
I just loved how many times they said that too. Like that was their like legal approved that phrase.
There's a Capcom rep behind the glass.
Yeah.
Staring them down.
Even though the fact that they recreated the MVC2 training stage
Training
and
room,
the health
yeah.
bars, like, who got eliminated from this first round here? Oh, they took out Thanos, and so it's just down to Silver Surfer, Omega Red. All right,
Wow,
so
they even have the exact
Hey, so-
MVC training stage.
Yep.
Like,
right.
Yep.
like, wow.
All right,
Hey, so
let's talk about this. We got Wolverine is a brand new mold, head to toe.
like Brand, I was shocked. Like they didn't.
This is like what our fourth brand new mold Wolverine in the last year. Like it's crazy. I love it.
'Cause 97 is a new mold, isn't it?
Yep.
Or is he?
97 is completely a new mold. The movie one was a new mold. The Logan was a new mold. The
And astonishing.
Astonishing was a new mold. This is our fifth new mold Wolverine in the last year.
And damn, like he's probably the best. And which sucks, because I really love my Astonishing Wolverine. But like, god damn, he can crunch.
He's also so Bengusy. He's so Bengus.
I know. He's so big, bicep, dick dice.
Gigantic mask.
Like, I'm not sure this can. I originally thought, oh, they just did an early preview of Maximum Wolverine. I'm not sure this can work as a Maximum Wolverine
because it's too Bengus.
Yeah, so too specific to make into Bingus' style.
Look at this.
So,
this
like,
pose right here where he's kicking Silver Samurai in the face is like the coolest thing I've seen a Wolverine figure do.
I know, right? Because I saw he has not. I saw you complain he has not. Looks like he has single joint elbows, but to be fair, I can't think of any Logan figure that can bend 9 like.
Yeah, I don't. None of the Wolverines I have with double jointed elbows can bend more than 90 if he has. Otherwise, his biceps look too small. Like
his biceps are
Hugh
huge.
Jackman.
Like,
Hugh Jackman can do it, but that's Hugh Jackman.
He's human. He's human.
Yeah. I will say, yeah, the elbow, like the little sticky out flesh elbow thing, is a little weird.
That's just the problem of doing single joint elbows.
Yeah,
but
I do like the Berserker Barrage claw effects, which are
so
huge and separate, and then they can clip together to
so cool.
make it even better. So, and they come with I think it comes with a stand for it.
Yeah, Kyle mentioned sucks that I might have get 2 for Bone Claw. Yeah, we didn't get the Bone Claw. It was a separate character.
Oh god, yeah. Oh god. Wartorn said double jointed elbows also make his arms too long. Yeah, that's true because of the size of the bicep. You want to make sure the forearm's not too long, right? So that makes sense. The crouching on this Wolverine though, like look at that.
Crunch, like that's impressive.
They brought out the Bone Claw Wolverine. I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize which one that was. Just an accidental comparison of like the other Wolverine in MVC2.
Yeah, but also shows that this is a new sculpt. Like this isn't just the same reuse.
Yeah, they didn't reuse anything. Now going alongside this, I guess we just kind of keep ignoring Silver Samurai.
I was actually surprised that he's actually a lot more. I thought it was just the same Silver Samurai, but no, he's remolded to look like his MVC. Because in MVC, he has bigger shoulder pads and skirt armor and such as that.
Yeah, so they swapped out his skirt overlay, they swapped out his shoulder pads. They did new head on him, and then everything else is kind of used from the previous one.
Very M. Bison looking chin by looks of it.
Yes. He has the giant shuriken effect, which was a power he only had in the games. He's got the lightning charged sword. He only comes with 1 sword, I think, instead of 2.
Yeah, there's always an energy mode, which I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. And also because the original one came with 2 because he had twin katanas in the comics. He doesn't have a holster now for him because that's not in this game design. So I appreciate the commitment to making him like.
They still pin, but I don't mind because this is the case where in all these figures you can clearly tell there's definitely they need to save some budget with all the new tooling.
Yeah,
they had to. So I don't mind because I don't mind that personally. Silver Samurai's pins, honestly.
Yeah. So, Cass, you got any thoughts on Wolverine versus Silver Samurai, or as we're gonna dub it, the X-Men Children of the Atom 2-pack?
Yep.
Atom 2-pack. My only thought is something I asked our buddy Wheels about, which is they're all 2-packs, and apparently he was mad that some of them he just wanted singles, and I'm like, valid point for those who already have some of these figures.
Yeah.
I mean, what's nice?
I don't have any of them, so I don't mind buying
same.
2-packs.
Same. Like this is good for me because I have this is a new Logan, but I don't have a Silver Samurai, so this is great.
I always tell people you can always throw your Silver Samurais on eBay. Somebody will want them.
I mean, what's nice also it's not a full rebuy because these are new figures. Like they did change these figures.
They did something new to both of them, so it's not like a double dip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy this because I want the Wolverine, but I'll take another Silver Samurai. I don't got a problem with that. Also,
Mhm.
I have to make a video later this year.
So yeah, so this is gonna be fan channel and Amazon for this item, right?
Yeah, which I thought was weird. I thought this would be a retail pack considering Wolverine, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I guess none of them are retail. But we'll get to that. The next set, and this I would
Oh, the
wish.
pain.
I really want them. If I had one critique about the Marvel streams, I really want them to start by telling us if it's an exclusive to a store. Because every time they show an updated X-Woman, it ends up being Target. And I keep getting
Yeah.
blindsided by it. I need to stop. Like, if like the next stream, they're like, oh, hey, we made a new Jean Grey. I'm like, Target? Oh, here's a new, like, Destiny. Target? Like, I'm going to start anticipating Target now. Because the next 2-pack is exclusive to Target.
We have new Psylocke finally.
Yes. So I think this new Psylocke is fantastic. She's got molded in strap details. She's got the thigh cuts. Like the thigh cuts are hidden by the straps, which is really great.
She's close, but not. I would say she's close, but not fully being this is Psylocke. Such a good game sprite. That she's a big woman.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's a great update. You know, if you need it for the comic stuff or the game stuff, she's got the butterfly shoulders. She's got the big old energy effects, so she can like beat the crap out of Thanos.
Psylocke, for the previous Psylocke, was her butterfly mask stuck onto the Ultra head, or was that removable?
It was removable. Yeah, you could remove it.
Okay, good.
And yeah, I mean, this is great. Like, she's got a huge range of posability. She's using like I think some of that's from Phoenix. The shoulder, like the torso, kind of reminds me of Phoenix's torso. But yeah, I mean, it looks really, really good. It looks stellar. She's got alternate head. She's got hands. She comes in a 2-pack with Thanos, which is using the deluxe Thanos, but with a new head.
Mango.
So
it's a new head, new skirt, and new boots. I
think. I believe so.
I think the gloves are the same, and new head.
Yeah, gloves are the same. They gave him kind of the more mechanical looking.
Did he get? Yeah. Is his shoulder piece new? Because I think it's bigger compared to the deluxe one.
Yeah, it looks a little different.
Yeah, so a lot of his armor is it's the body's the same.
They made him look like he does in the games, as opposed to just reissuing the figure.
Yeah, because what's nice because this is classic '90s Thanos, like because in the because in the '90s, not only was this color scheme, but he also had that big crown.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Silver Surfer cartoon.
Which I really like.
Yep. Wartorn said, "Do you feel that Psylocke would get a retro single release?" That's a possibility that maybe they do something like that. You know, like, here's the update, and now we're going to release it as like comic colors or something, and she doesn't come with the effect parts, but she just comes with like the energy knife and the mask. I could see that. Mr. Tanuki says, I kind of wish he came with the bubbles like that classic game. Yeah, I think he's the only one that doesn't get effect parts, right? Is Thanos the only one that doesn't get an effect part?
I don't think so.
I think it's just because he's bigger. I mean, if this is a normal price set, then it's not too bad.
You know what prices for 80s weirdly enough? Maybe that's the tariffs.
They've been hiding the prices. They're going up for pre-order soon, so we'll be finding out as well. Yeah, I think he looks great. I think this 2-pack looks great. I hope Target doesn't make it a nightmare to get.
So this is our Marvel Superheroes rep 2-pack?
Yep. This is Marvel Superheroes, yeah. This would be our Marvel Superheroes set. That's the reason why they revealed them in the order they did, for anyone wondering, because after this, that goes up June 6th. That's this week. Oh, that goes up this week. Gotta keep an eye out. At what? Oh, good. Okay, thank God. I just know I didn't actually read that part earlier. I kind of missed it, I guess. June 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern. I've had a problem. The reason why I missed out on Jean Grey and I had to get her on the second stocking was because they put her up at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's 7 a.m. my time. I'm not coherent at 7 a.m.
Well, Logan and Silver Samurai were the June 5th?
Yes.
Right?
June 5th for Logan and Silver Samurai, and then June 6th at 1. Oh, thank God it's 1. I just hate waking up that early and trying to like log into the Target app and do it all. Like, I'm delirious. And also, it's worse if you're on the West Coast. It's 6 a.m. Like, who puts pre-orders up at that time? So yeah, no, this I hopefully will be able to get it. All right. The next set, which is really representing, I guess this one kind of jumps ahead to Marvel vs. Capcom, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, because
it's Omega Red and War Machine.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about Omega Red first, because everybody's been upgraded, right? We've been talking about how like there's like one that's really new and one that's kind of new, right? Omega Red, what's different besides the head?
I'm not familiar with Omega Red figures, so I can't say. I just know the head's new from what people told me.
Yeah, the head's new. I did. Okay, yeah, they did this. Yeah, they changed the shoulder pads. They changed the head, and that's about it. I'm looking at him from a distance, mind you, but it doesn't feel as new. He doesn't feel as new as the other upgrades, you know?
This is definitely a nice to get if you don't have him, because
Yeah.
Omega Red was what? Only exclusive.
He was a
only
single
been-
pack, and then he was in a 5-pack, and now he's in a 2-pack.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
been really hard. I think he's one of the more harder characters to get.
Yep.
Compared to the other characters, so this is really nice to see him get release and
Mhm.
such. And we have artwork for the
And then
specifically-
artwork War Machine. Because for anyone wondering, he doesn't look like this in the game itself. His sprite is just a recolored Iron Man because of budgeting and stuff.
Yeah.
And they already released that. They already released a repaint of the modular armor. And so this is like Bengus art style War Machine artwork from the game.
I actually really, because I love the Legends War Machine figure. It's one of my favorite Marvel Legends, but like, God, I love how they upgraded him.
I love the color of the blue color. It's so good.
He's a thick boy. He has a massive chest.
Yeah.
And such. I love those proportions. They look so cool. I really love that.
And I also love that they gave him a shoulder cannon with an effect because we never see him use that in the game. It's just the thing they did.
Yeah.
They're like, we just did this on our own. It was fun. Why not? You know, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
This is definitely the most skippable of them, but if you don't have Eater, this is a great...
As a long-term collector, this is the most skippable easily, but I'm also like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I kind of want to get it anyways, and Walmart's not been too bad with Marvel pre-orders, so...
Yes, yeah. I don't have Omega Red, and while I do have the Deluxe War Machine, I love the Spingus version a lot, and also, I'm just a roadie fan, so like, I don't mind getting multiple roadies and such like that.
Cass, you got thoughts on Bengus War Machine?
Oh, he's cool.
Yeah.
I love the blue.
Was he just blue in the artwork? Because I thought it was more...
Yeah, I could show you right now.
He's like a bluish silver, right?
Yeah.
I'm putting it in the stream chat right now.
Let's remind me, because I keep thinking of... I keep thinking he's more of a silvery blue than a bluey blue.
There you go.
This 2-pack is a Walmart exclusive, and it's supposed to go up in pre-order in July. Because there's a Walmart Collector Con probably coming up around Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Probably around Comic-Con time. Oh, AR said Kinsei's a stealth war machine. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Stealth suit war machine. All right. Next up, let's see. The next 2-pack is actually wide retail. It's weird there's only one wide retail release.
So is this our MVC 1 or MVC 2 rep?
I call this the MVC 1 rep because it's Captain America versus Blue Venom.
Yeah, because War Machine would be, and Omega would be MVC 2.
The way
Omega Red, because Omega Red wasn't in MVC 1.
Soundout, you're gonna want to see stream chat because you were saying it wasn't. Like, yeah, it was. See, told you.
Oh, it was in the game.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Okay. Let me. Wait. How do I?
Just open it. You can just open it.
I don't know if you heard me earlier because I said yeah, it was when you.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I can open it in the browser.
Oh well.
Hold on. We shall solve this. I'm going to do it off screen in case I dock something by accident. I have done that to myself too many times.
Yes, you have.
Yes.
Really?
As everybody should know at this point, I'm not great at realizing. Like I don't want to overshare, so I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, shoulder cannon. It was in the game on the Iron Man recolored sprite. So yeah, they did do a good job with that. Thank you, Kaus, for being a better expert at this than I am.
It's like his lifeblood. It's funny.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly, it's his lifeblood. So the question is, can I attach that shoulder cannon to my War Machine that looks like Iron Man?
I
don't know if I can plug it on, but I'm sure I can like glue it. I mean, it's not like it's attached to him there. It just pops up.
Yeah. You need some photo trickery.
Yeah. All right. So Captain America and Blue Venom I'm really excited for this.
First off, new cap. A new cap. Finally.
A new cap that is in classic colors with the classic like head sculpt. That's like the Secret Wars head, I think. And his shield does not have some stupid shit going on. It's just a normal ass shield.
Yeah, but charging strike.
Yeah, he has an effect part, but it doesn't ruin the shield in the process. Thank you. Was that so hard?
This is the 2-pack I want the most.
Yes,
I just love. I
It's
just 'cause I
both a
think
Cap and me being a big fan of Venom too.
heck
I think the
yeah.
legs are the same as the Secret Wars one, but like the torso, like that's so. I love that torso. Just that bulky, like '90s era Cap bulk is so
Mm.
good. Oh, and also blue Venom.
Blue Venom. So
Yes.
Bloom here's looking great. It's also nice because
He's not. He's
it's
not 1-to-1. I was like, he's not 1-to-1 to the English
yeah, he's
because
not big enough.
NBC, yeah, NBC Venom is like the size of Juggernaut, which we're
Yeah.
Huge.
yeah, but it's close enough. I like the
But
head.
I'm
Especially.
also really glad to see that his arms are new. Because
He's a repaint of the 85 years Venom.
right, which is also off of the 3-pack Venom that came with Riot. Like they've been staging this out. They had like the 3-pack Venom, which also came with this Eddie head that they reused, which I thought was brilliant. That Venom I really liked, but they had like extra symbiote texture on his arms and his shoulders and stuff that kind of felt unnecessary.
He's clean. This one's just a clean Venom.
Yeah, and then the 85th one took away some of it, but he still had the symbiote on the arms, and now he's got pinless arms and no symbiote like things going on.
Pin legs, it's kind of frustrating, but still, he looks great.
Yeah,
I mean, what's
That head
nice
is awesome. The
he's not
Wii are
the-
Venom.
What's
Yes.
nice is he's not the same shade of blue, but close enough. You can also use this as your PS1 Spider-Man Venom.
Yep.
Oh
Totally
yeah.
could.
Surf the
Never
web,
stop
surf the web.
Venom.
It's the first thing that popped in my mind too.
I will say too, it's really funny this wasn't the Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, because blue.
They love Cap and Venom at Walmart so much. You'd think it would be.
And blue people.
Yeah, ignoring the blue part. Like, remember they had a whole like set of Venomized. Like they had Venomized Captain America one time. How much they loved getting Venom and Cap.
Wasn't 80 years Cap?
Walmart.
Walmart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bucky Cap was Walmart. 85th Venom was Walmart. The Venomized Captain America was Walmart. They love Venom, and there was another Venom they got. It was, yeah, no. Anyways, that's the mainline retail one, which is wild. Oh, and Cap has a screaming head, which is cool. All right.
Strike.
So then the big thing we got Gargantos, the artist formerly known as Shumagorath.
Due to international copyright law.
Yeah.
So we need to explain. The weirdness of
Okay,
Gargantos.
so Shumagorath debuted in a Doctor Strange comic, which means, okay, Marvel owns the character, right? Yes, they do. However, the name Shumagorath was spoken in a Conan comic that was, a licensed book at Marvel prior to his debut. Therefore, the name Shumagorath is owned by the Conan estate.
Yeah.
So Gargantos.
Because they first used his name with Multiverse of Madness, right?
Yes.
Because that's the thing. Because a lot of when people saw the squid with the one eye, people thought it was Shumagorath,
Which it was.
But then they said maybe Gargantos, so a lot of people thought like, oh, it's not Shumagorath. But no, it was. It just we didn't know it was a rename.
Anything that's in older material, like the games, they didn't change or anything. Like anything existing is fine, but anything since Multiverse of Madness onward, it's been Gargantos instead of Shumagorath, because they're trying to avoid that phone call from the Conan people, right? So
this is like the best Starro ever.
Yes.
Yeah. Like God, I'm impressed with this figure. Like, where's that one image where he's YouTube ranter posing?
I'm gonna get there because that's like a pose from the game. There he is, where he's like
look.
The personality out of this one-eyed squid monster is amazing.
Like he's like not only does he has bendy
tentacles, I love that.
Not only does he have bendy tentacles, he has the hinge joints at the end of them, and his eyes superposable. Like,
yeah, you can open the lens, you can open and close his like eyelids, and his eyeball moves back and forth inside.
Like, it's impressive. Like, this is like, god damn. Like, it's like I was super shocked at how cool this figure is.
Yeah,
so much.
It really just like it's really incredible, and he even comes with a little buddy he throws as a weapon, which is just incredible. I love the back of the box where it just shows Silver Samurai laid out, and then like Shumagorath is just clowning on it.
I beat you.
Yeah, no, this is a huge figure, and I'm scared for the price. All right, so
yeah, I know. Like, yeah, this is the character that I thought they'll never do because how weird he is. But like, goddamn, this was some love and effort in this.
You feel like some money burning a hole in your pocket. Get that Shuma, get the Grand Elder Guru, and get Purunga, and then
yeah,
all your
green guys.
Make sure if your wallet's just feeling too heavy. I mean,
Yeah, it's fine. And then we have the Juggernaut, bitch.
yes, I was
God,
hoping you said.
God, because when we first thought, because they teased the little impact effect last stream,
Yes.
and we thought, oh, it's just gonna be like the Build-A-Figure Juggernaut re-release with new
Yeah, it was like
NPCs.
a
But
couple
nope,
upgrades here and there. No, they're like, no, we made an entirely gigantic, big ass Juggernaut that's even like.
I was like, holy crap, what the hell? When they showed the new Juggernaut, it's like, what? So there's where all the
I love how
budget
I love how they prep. Like, you remember how with the Spider-Man wave, it got like disappointing because they just ended up being variants of Spider-Man, like after Black Cat, right? I
Yeah.
love how this time they structured it with like, look, if you're gonna complain that Omega Red and Silver Samurai and Thanos didn't have enough done to them, let's just here's the reason. Look at the reason. This is where the budget went. It's like they were like, hey, if anyone was complaining that they're like, the 2-packs have one new figure and one kind of new figure, like look at all the new here. This is where we were cooking. And I'm all here for it. Look at this Juggernaut.
But so this is where all the budget of Max Hulk went.
Yeah.
My God.
God, every reveal they make makes Maximum Hulk look worse.
I know, because
Also, because the fact Maximum Hulk can't even clap.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he has like butterflies, but he also has like toe joints and everything like that.
Yep.
Like a
Toe joints. His
diaphragm.
neck can shift up and down for different angles, so you can have him headbutt people. It also works as a punch effect. Kyle says he probably could do the clap pose. If we're being honest, yeah, probably.
I mean, look at that pose right there, where his arms are close to each other. That's
Yeah.
pretty damn close to the clap.
It's close enough.
He's so massive.
He's so gigantic. I can't believe it.
Perfect for the mid boss he used to be in Children of the Atom.
Heck yeah. I think we count this as the X-Men versus Street Fighter rep, right?
Yeah, he can pair up with Spider-Man 2 Venom, big boy club.
Yeah, I mean, look at him like tower over War Machine.
Yeah, he's so huge.
Like, of course he's towering over Wolverine. Everybody does, but like,
yeah, because I thought the Build-A-Figure was big and hefty when I first got it with the for the Colossus 2-pack, but oh boy, he's a big lad.
And then here's the overall like lineup of all 6 items, which is just.
Goddamn.
Oh yeah, Kyle says love how their names in the box are stylized like name logos in the Marvel superheroes and MVC1. Yeah, I love that too. Like that just looks so good. It's so funny this shot. They all look like PNGs of the toys are slapped in.
There's a lot of. I think we should honestly. I would love us to do like a tier list of all the what do you call it, like the capsule programs they've done over the years.
Yeah, like their anniversary lines.
And because
we should do that in the post SDCC like lol.
Yeah, I think this is one of the strongest programs, honestly, because
It's the only one where I actually see myself buying every single one of them. I usually skip one or two, but like this time I'm like, no, I think I want all of them.
Because I think, there's some even some of the stronger programs like the Avengers Beyond or 85 years or Marvel. Actually, no, Marvel 85 years is pretty. Like I think that's also like
I skipped somebody in 85. I just don't remember who.
No, you skip Hulk, but like the
Hulkbuster,
ones
yeah.
like the one like that's the case of I think 85 years you skip because of more money than it was a bad because I think Hulkbuster's
I thought it was really good. I was like, ultimately I was like, I don't need it. Whereas this one, I'm like, the only one I'm waffling on is War Machine and Omega Red.
Yeah, but
like it just depends. If I can get it from Walmart, I'll get it. If I can, I'm not going to cry about it. I got those guys, but yeah.
Because this is the message of we love MVC. We want to make good toys of it.
Yeah.
Scenario.
Like they really could have phoned this all in.
This could have all been repacks.
It could have just been all repacks and repaints, but they decided to cook hard, and I appreciate them for it. And then they showed an accessory that no one could figure out.
According to the leaks, it might be another Crystar character.
Yes, but Marvel hasn't reprinted those comics in like 40 years, so who would know anything from Crystar?
I surprised they haven't reprinted those in because they've been doing like.
It's only 11 issues. You think they would have just like thrown out a small epic by now, considering Crystar showed up in Deadpool Team Up recently.
Like so it's kind of weird. That's the only one they haven't reprinted.
Yeah, they're like, we did ROM and Micronauts, and we can't even legally use those characters anymore. I'm like, so what about Crystar? And they're like,
Godzilla.
Yeah, they did Godzilla. Yeah, and it's like Crystar's like 11 issues. Like that's a small Omni. You throw out a small Omni, you throw out a small Epic. You charge more than you should, but people will get it because it's so unavailable. It's like it's the Marvel Gale. Great line, great reveals, good stuff. All right, so. We have come to that point in the show where I'm going to put up my spoiler image here. It's River Song saying spoilers.
Well, spoiler: if you have not seen the finale of
Season
what series,
2 of
season
Doctor
two
Who.
of modern Doctor Who, of the current Doctor Who
If you
run,
haven't
because
seen all the current episodes of Doctor Who that are going to air, and then we don't know what else is going on beyond it, this is your spoiler warning. I'm not going to start immediately because I know there's a bit of a lag, but we have a lot to talk about, and it's going to be full spoilers. Like, nothing's held back. So if you want to like dip, now's your time to dip. As River Song's kind of blocking where I want to sit, so let me see. I'm going to move River Song a little bit. She's going to move her down here. So let's take Wheels' spot. There we go. Upgraded. All right. But anyways, no. I want to talk about everything that happened, and yeah. If you guys want to dip, I'm going to give you guys like another minute or so before I just start ranting. I will say, if you want non-spoiler thoughts, I thought it was a really solid season, and I liked the finale up until like the last third of it, and then I just started like dying a little bit.
I heard I haven't seen the season yet.
Yeah.
I have heard I know some things that happen in it, and especially the finale. At least of what happened at the very end. I heard just vague things about what happened in the finale.
Mhm.
But like it's very interesting. I'll say the reaction of this.
The reaction has been, I would say that the reaction to what happened at the finale has been the least positive thing that should happen for Doctor Who, and I'm going to say this gently, but I'm going to have to explain what the spoiler is. So this is it. This last warning. We're getting into this. Okay, so for various reasons that will never be truly disclosed to us, Ncuti Gatwa's time as the Doctor is over less than 2 years before 2 years since it started. He's already regenerated.
That was because when I saw because
the BBC was like Ncuti Gatwa regenerates, and I'm like, the episode just aired. What the hell?
And it helped that they also posted Ncuti Gatwa's like farewell videos. So
yeah, they posted all that without any surprise.
Yeah, because when I saw all that, when I saw the regeneration, I thought they were doing like a sort. This wasn't like this, they're doing like a big twist for the like cliffhanger for the next season. I thought it was like because it's very similar to they've done this before where that Doctor regenerated, but it's like not like a normal regeneration. I thought they were doing that, but then I saw the farewell video, like what?
Yeah, he's gone, and so like addressing that part of it because I want to talk about that like a little bit more in a bit.
Discussion. Yeah,
the current speculation. It's because we know he's turned down jobs for movies because he was waiting for when they were going to shoot the third season.
Because I heard there was an interview with him.
Yes,
talking about they were waiting to film for third season, but then later got cut. Like later it was edited to remove that moment apparently.
And Russell T Davies had said they were going to be filming season 3 very soon last year. What currently is happening is that Disney has not decided if they want to continue their deal with the BBC to distribute Doctor Who and also put in money for it. They have not made a decision either way. And so now it's put the show into limbo, and Ncuti, I think, ultimately decided, I can't put my whole career on hold for some business people to not have made a decision on this. He was already turning down jobs because he wanted to be available because he loves playing this character.
He had scheduling issues during season 1 of the show.
Yeah, it's scheduling issues during season 1, and he wanted to do it, but I think it's like you can't just put your career on hold because two companies can't decide what they're doing. Like the BBC, it wants to do more Doctor Who, but they have to wait on Disney because if Disney's going to, if Disney's going to continue to distribute, they need to know that so they know how their funding works, right? Whereas if they just do it on their own, they need to know that as well because that's going to change the budget. That's just how it goes.
Because that's the thing. It's not like other shows where Disney just has the airing right. They funded it. They helped fund these seasons.
They put in money for it, and so this is the frustrating part I have is that Ncuti's time was cut short, like plain and simple.
But it's also confirmed there has been reshoots for the finale, right?
We have not gotten the words there are reshoots, but there were leaks that were saying that the ending was reshot back in February, and we have evidence to back this up. There was a screenshot from Disney Plus Germany that showed the original ending, as described in the leaks. Carol Ann Ford appeared in a behind-the-scenes reel for the Intergalactic Song Contest, where she made a quick cameo as Susan. and she was wearing a different costume in that behind-the-scenes interview than what she wore in the episode. And so that lines up with the leaks that she was supposed to be in the last scene of the season to set up season 3. And then the third piece is that during the Doctor Who Unleashed episode for the finale, they did not put the dates of when they filmed scenes, when in every other episode of Unleashed, they put when they filmed it. And so the ultimate thing is that they reshot the ending. And you can also tell they reshot the ending because there's a bunch of things within the episode itself that does not line up with the ending. Unfortunately, Disney Plus duct taping a show together has affected Doctor Who now, and it's not even one of their shows.
It doesn't help that I'm gonna vague this because I know I'm gonna keep this in vague terms just in case for people who because we're still in kind of vague spoilers. The regeneration person, like the next regeneration,
the person he regenerated into, I have an entire soliloquy about because I hate it.
It's one. It's more of it kind of clearly looks CG in.
Yes.
Like because
from leaks, that person filmed that a few weeks before the season started airing.
It didn't look like the actor was in the same place Shooty was, pretty much. It's not like wherever that has happened before. I know.
I mean, they did it with David when Jodie became David Tennant. The David Tennant part was filmed later because they didn't know if the show was going to be continuing, and so they did an open-ended regeneration, and then they quickly shot David Tennant before they shot the Star Beast, and then they threw it in real quick.
But it didn't look as noticeable because
because it was an entire full body David Tennant in front of a green screen as opposed to, and I'm just going to say it because at this point we're far enough in. You guys have had the spoiler warning. Billy Piper's floating head on top of Shooty Gatwa's body.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah. So let's because I want to address the ending part before we go back because I had some positives about the season.
Because I'm gonna dip in soon. So I want to talk about I mostly want to talk about how the people feel about the current, because I see some reaction to this current era which I not sure is justified or not, and essentially the whole idea of Billy Piper as the next Doctor or wherever she's gonna be.
Let's talk about the Billy Piper part because I think that's the part that pisses me off the most.
Because I would say I like the idea of a companion actor graduating to a Doctor.
Yes.
I think that's honestly a cool idea. I do agree that if it wasn't Billy Piper, I don't think it would have been as anger-inducing.
The reason it's anger-inducing for me is, and this I'm not been a Doctor Who fan that long. Okay, I'm not even 2 years. I'm like the first episode I watched of Doctor Who was 2 episodes before Shooty debuted. So I have not been in this for a long time, okay? The first issue I have is this is a stereotype that happens frequently. This is a thing that happens in real life of a white woman taking a black man's job. This is like a real life problem that constantly happens because companies, when they're hiring based on diversity, can check the same box for a white woman that they do a black man.
That's definitely the case of oops scenario.
Yes, I don't think they intentionally did this, just like I don't think Dino Fury intentionally did this, but it has happened, you know?
This is definitely the case of they got Billy Piper back because she's recognizable, less of white woman scenario. This is definitely more that case.
But it is a problem.
It is sad. Yeah, it is a sad problem. It's sadly.
And here's the major problem I have with it. Why is it that the first female Doctor had to regenerate into David Tennant? Why is it the first black Doctor had to regenerate into Rose Tyler? Why is it that they could not just go from Jodie to Shooty? Why is it they could not go from Shooty to the next person? Why is it they feel like they have to throw in a nostalgia bait to pull audiences back in who are just going to leave as soon as you take that actor out again?
That's the thing, and that's kind of the major conversation I've seen.
Shooty's stuck in a season 2, or Shooty's stuck in a 2006 nostalgia sandwich.
Yeah. So because Tenant's 2006. So this is the thing about what's going on with Who that I'm not sure how I feel about, because I definitely see both sides scenario where I definitely agree that this is definitely nostalgia pay. I can at least with Tenet, I could at least kind of go, okay, it's for the anniversary.
Yeah,
it's for the anniversary. That I can kind of sideline a little bit. bring back Billy Piper as it's not Rose, but that's still
Whether
it's
she's
obvious
the bad
what they're
wolf
doing
entity or whether she's the next Doctor, whatever, just bringing her back. Like we
is
just had Tenet,
like if and like I think especially if it was. I don't remember. I feel bad forgetting most of the actors' names right now. It's on my head. But if it was like, well, maybe not Donna because she did came back, but Martha. It was Martha's actress. Or
if it was
hell,
you know who I've talked to people about this. The only companion that to come back and be the Doctor that I really would have been 100% okay with was Jenna Coleman as Clara.
Yes,
Because she was the one that she has her own TARDIS.
I think like Clara, Bill, or Martha. I think those three, I think can work. I love Karen Gillan, but I don't think. I think if it was Amy Pond, it would be a similar effect. Maybe not as bad as Billy Piper, but like I think Karen Gillan, Amy Pond. I don't think it makes sense to bring her back, quote unquote. But yeah. So again, I really like the idea of a companion graduating. Like hell, like if she was still alive, I would love Sarah Jane to be a Doctor.
That'd be great.
For example.
And I like the idea. I think it's the problem I have with it is that it's so
very nostalgia bait.
It's so nostalgia bait, and it's so dismissive in a lot of ways, whether intentionally so or not. I think they're just probably like, we love Billy Piper, we want to bring her back, like this is the way we do it. But the thing is, it feels so last minute. It comes out of nowhere, and the difference, what it feels like to me, is they're trying to recapture the buzz of when Jodie became David Tennant. Because for those that don't know their history, Ncuti was already announced as the next Doctor when they announced that Jodie's era was coming to an end. So when Jodie went to regenerate, people expected Ncuti to appear, and instead it was David Tennant, and it was a surprise, and they're like, oh, we're doing the 60th anniversary specials, Donna's coming back, and then Ncuti will come in after that. Like, it was like, they made a big deal out of it. Whereas because the show's basically in hiatus status, while Disney tries to make up their damn mind, we don't know what's going on with this Billy Piper thing. We don't know how what any of it is.
Because she's not credited as introducing Billy Piper as the Doctor,
right?
Like other ones. It was just starring Billy Piper. There was no credit for her.
And the thing is, it's not like they had a social media post to be like, oh, and Billy Piper's going to be the Doctor in this 20th anniversary of Revival Who special, and then the next Doctor will debut in it or something. Like, they didn't do anything like that. Okay, so Kyle said they already confirmed David Tennant was coming back for the anniversary, just didn't reveal him as the 14th Doctor until after Power Doctor. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, not only did we not get the announcement that Ncuti's time was ending, so it kind of, it hits you like a shock.
I think that was the problem.
And then on top of the shock, it's like, and here's nostalgia. Like, I did not like that.
I think that's the major part, because usually when there's a Doctor leaving, they usually announce it ahead of time.
Yep.
So we get prepared. Yeah,
and it's usually the same thing for companions. It was weird that Ruby left last season.
And I mean, from what I hear, she's really not really, because she's a big player in this
she's
season.
back in like she's in 3 of the 8 episodes this season.
So like really, it's really less of she left and more they want to introduce another companion for Judy. Along and such like that.
Mr. Tukey says, I think it's contract issue. Not many actors sign a contract for a show that may not get renewed without a start date. Piper has a history at the show and wants to go to producing. See, that's the thing. I don't have I think my issue is that because like that's definitely an issue and that's something they had to deal with. I just think they didn't have to show who he was regenerating into.
It was like a vague regeneration.
They should have just left it open-ended. Like, he's regenerating, and then, like, they did this. There's a goodbye video to Ncuti on the Doctor Who YouTube channel, and it's like, he's regenerating, and it fades to black. And I was like, I wish that's how it ended. I really do. The alternate option as well, and this is something I think would have been better, is to just play the season out as they planned, put it on hiatus, and if Ncuti's not available to be the Doctor when they come to bring it back, get him
they did with Sylvester. Do what they did with Sylvester McCoy and
exactly.
Paul McGann, practically.
Yeah, do what they did with Sylvester McCoy regenerating into Paul McGann. Just bring him in for a short scene, have him regenerate, and then we move forward, you know? Because, like, I think Ncuti could fit it in his schedule to do a short scene, right?
That's what happened with Sylvester McCoy, practically.
Yeah.
For a TV movie.
I think you should not, like, do what they did to Sylvester McCoy in that movie, but poor guy. Got shot by a gang. What a way to go. But no, the thing is, I think that I think that's what my problem is. I feel like it's now pigeonholed them back into a nostalgia thing, and because we have no idea when this is going to come out, we just get to sit here and stew on it as a fandom.
I think, and this is the thing. I have mixed feelings on how people are reacting because if people genuinely did not like the scene, that's fine.
Yeah.
But there's some there's some kind of violent reactions to this season, and especially Russell T Davis. And if you don't like his
Yes.
style, that's completely fine. Everybody has a favorite.
People have gotten
blue
really violent about
run-
Russell T
showrunner.
Davies, but I gotta say, there is a bunch of issues that are not production based, that are writing based, that he is to be blamed for, but people keep misdirecting like their frustrations.
No, definitely. Again,
Yeah, and I want
if
to
you didn't
touch
like
on all this, and I kind of want to get off the regeneration in a way because I feel like we almost kind of tapped it in a bit. I do say though, I kind of don't want Russell T Davies to come back to writing because the season was strong. I thought the season was strong, and then its biggest faults were like the Russell T Davies faults in writing.
yeah, and that's the
yeah.
if you have a problem with Russell's writing, that's completely fine. I just think my problem with some of the reaction I have with people reacting so negatively to this era is people acting, and this is sort of related to Star Wars. It's kind of sad now. Doctor Who's getting to the toxic side. Also.
Oh no, I
but
was
like,
gonna take a different comparison. Doctor Who's now the MCU.
Yeah, but with it's similar how people feel about Dave Filoni now, where people want to, when people are making, oh, Russell just wants to go back to the old days. He just wants to hang out. Same with the Billy Piper day.
Yeah.
Billy Piper coming back. It's like they just want to reenact with the old cast. Blah 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 blah. And it's similar things where like, oh, Dave Filoni just want to keep his OC Ahsoka alive. Blah blah blah. That's why he did the time stuff and Rebels. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and, like,
people get really conspiratory about it, and there's a difference in bringing back an older character, right? Like the Ronnie's one of the villains this season. Obscure character coming back. Great time. Reintroduce the character, connect it all up. And there's a difference between that, and there's a difference between, I know this is like, more spoilers for the episode, but there was this really frustrating scene in this finale that was Russell T Davies not helping himself, is what I'm going to call it. The issue I have is that the Ronnie was there in the unit base, and she's expositing what the plan is. And then
get killed off early in the midway through the episode.
They also wasted the Ronnie, but that's kind of a different conversation. And then the thing is like Mel's like, I remember you. We faced off before. And then Mel just proceeds to do nothing for the rest of the episode. And then like the Ronnie mentions Omega, the first Time Lord, and then Kate's like, my father fought him, and then just doesn't do anything with that information. And it started becoming a point where I was like, how much of the dialogue is just exposition and references, and is there anything actually being said in this scene?
Definitely.
And then also in that same scene, he retconned like 3 things about the Time Lords. And it was like, that's the thing you can point to Russell T Davies and go, what you doing with the writing?
And I would say this I would say this about that is, if you don't like Russell's take on stuff like that, like the Time Lord stuff, that's fine. But like, I think I have an issue with the Doctor Who fandom and reaction, and going back to Star Wars is, people really like target the writers for changes like that, where a writer for writer, but like everyone does it. Russell T Davis changed Time Lords to fit his story.
Moffat did it. Chibnall did it. Yeah,
everyone, even the classic era. Even though I haven't seen much of the classic
era.
I
think the reason why people were so put off by it was because it was done so quickly, just in dialogue, as opposed to like being part of the story.
Yeah, definitely. And
it's just like, and now the Time Lords are sterile. So what does that mean for Susan then? It's like I think that's what it throws people off, because there wasn't enough time. I felt like this 2-parter should have been a 3-parter, right?
I think with Doctor Who, I think people focus too much on, and I get Doctor Who is very much continuity heavy, but I feel like some people need to I don't want to say let go of the previous eras, but like more of like, this is a new era, so expect changes. If you don't like the changes, that's completely fine. But I think, like, this is definitely a right, such a show that's gone on for 60 plus years now. You can't keep things consistent all the time, and that's a time, and especially for the story you're writing. And whether it's good or bad, do you want to write it where okay, I'm gonna change this name to fit the story because and that's the thing, whether people disagree or agree, it's how the writer always the how
Yeah.
like do you think it makes sense for the story? And of course, you this is why you have other people to look over your work, but that's always the thing about this
There
kind of
has been a
writing.
discussion of is Russell T Davies kind of like Dave Filoni, surrounded by people that won't tell him no. And
Yeah,
that's a good discussion to have, but we don't know what goes on in the writers' rooms. We don't know what the power dynamics is. We can just kind of guess at it. I think the thing that we ultimately should do is, look at the I kind of if you look at each showrunner's era of Doctor Who, even each Doctor's run, how does it line up with the run? And for whatever reason, there's a bunch of continuity problems within just these 2 seasons with each other.
yeah.
And that's the stuff that I think, if we were having discussions about writing, that's where you should focus on, is what's in it. There's this line in the finale where the Doctor says, "I have the only TARDIS in existence." Which is
Wrong,
not
but yeah.
even true within the RTD2 era, because David Tennant's TARDIS is out there.
We got the 14th Doctor running around.
So even if you ignore the fact that Clara's got one, even though if you fact that there's a tree that from Jodie's era, if you just watch only the stuff on Disney Plus, you're you may remember, wait, isn't there a second TARDIS with the other Doctor that bi-generated?
There's a whole scene of Judy just kicking our TARDIS out.
Yeah.
Inside.
There are other writing flaws that are deeper conversations about how the trans and disabled characters exist only to be victims of transphobia and ableism.
I also heard how they treat the female companions in this.
Yeah, someone pointed out that every RTD companion ends up as a mother by the end of it, which is kind of weird. And it is a noticeable trend.
Because I know Don got a daughter, but did
Martha got put in a relationship with a character she had no chemistry with.
Yeah, I know. I didn't. I wasn't I like Mickey. I thought they work, but I wish you kind of got build up for Mickey and Martha.
Mickey and Martha. Donna was put into a mother role. Rose was stuck in a relationship role.
I do say Donna rock being a mother. I'll say that.
Yeah, Donna was great at it. One of the issues with this season is that clearly Ruby was supposed to be the companion for season 2, because they did a bunch of setup in season 1 to her being an orphan and her mother having left her, and how she has kind of a maternal instinct, and the Space Babies episode was a big part of that. And then
she's kind of the lynch point of the the lynch point of the Shooty era.
Yeah,
is her.
And so in season 2, all of that setup goes to Belinda instead.
I imagine it has to be Ruby's actress was just busy with other projects, but
there must have been a scheduling issue. But unfortunately, while a lot of comparisons were made between Belinda and Martha Jones, Martha got the better end of it. Considering how bad Martha Jones got treated, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. And Martha, I think, is still one of my favorite companions, but yeah, she got treated really dirty throughout and such. And I think the overall flaw of the Shooty era, this is my last thing to say before I head out, is
9 episodes a year.
Yes, and they're too short, and definitely I will, and definitely from what I hear, again, I haven't seen season 2 yet, but I think the biggest problem. And as you said with RTD, this is just a Roger D. Davis writing problem, and not as him the person like every other Who fan is trying to make it out to be. And this is just an thing since his era. He's not really great at doing ongoing stories. No. He's a great per episode writer.
But doing 2 seasons back to back of a mystery box plot.
He's
not his strong suit, and he fumbled it both times, because the actual reveal of who's behind the stuff just doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with
could even be a box.
Same thing, and I think his best. Yeah, I think his best ongoing story was the Master stuff. Yeah. And even that's still not perfect. There's a lot of holes, especially the ending. Jesus, Doctor. And such, but I think that was still his best story. Versus, and how much I'd like the Dalek the Davros stuff, it kind of came out of nowhere
Mhm.
and such. But yeah, we're and again, every writer, showrunner of who has their strengths and weaknesses. I just feel like some people are really. I think they're being a little too. Yeah, it's. I understand it's fresh in their
Yeah.
head, so their negative reactions got to come out forth. But I think people are a little going to like. There's
I
clearly
do think though
superhuman.
we need new people in the room.
We need new
Yeah.
fresh blood. I
We need
think.
fresh
Yeah, I
blood.
do.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's
We
all I
need
had to
one
say.
we need literally one
We
senior
we
writer to
have
make sure you're in continuity. But yeah, from what I hear, Doctor Who is washed. From like most
Honestly,
last
like
like
the thing
Doctor.
is I think that there was a lot of really good episodes this season, but the best episodes weren't written by Russell.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the, I hate people saying like, "Oh, Doctor Who's dead," blah blah blah, because there's legitimate good like even people
I mean,
say there's some
technically,
great
right now it's
episodes.
comatose, but that's
Yeah,
because there's no we
but
have no
like
idea what the
still,
production's doing.
but,
Yeah.
but it's a term of Doctor Who jumped the shark, blah 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 blah. Like, look, this is a franchise that like when people say Doctor Who jumped the shark, come on, this is a 60-year-old
Yeah. No.
franchise. I'm pretty
It's
sure the stuff
jumping. There's
in
no
how
sharks to jump in this franchise. There
oh I
is.
mean
I do think there
like
is. We have hit a problem though, where for however it's been done, like people have been pointing out, we haven't had a normal regeneration in 8 years. We haven't had like we haven't had a non-gimmicky regeneration in 8 years, basically.
I
Um,
think I think what we really need with Doctor Who is just a like I mean honestly like the original Russell T Davis
yeah,
era
a fresh
and like
start.
the start of the Moffat era. We just need just a good episodic series again. I feel
Yes.
like
And
Doctor
I
Who's
thought that's
been
what we were going to get with Shooty's era. I thought that I thought it was supposed to be a fresh start because it was on a new platform, it had more eyes on it, like it's a fresh start. And this thing was referencing stuff so much it was like watching Dino Fury.
yeah, we need another. We just need, the start of Eccleston and Tennant and the
Yeah.
start of Matt Smith. Just a nice episode by episode stuff, and then just a big bombastic finale where I don't know, like a classic like Cybermen or Dalek or whatever classic old Who
Yeah.
villain comes back. That's what we need. I think ever since the end of Capaldi's era, and this is saying someone who loves Capaldi's era, but from end of Capaldi era to now, we've been busy. They've been trying to make Doctor Who too grand. Doing
Every
these
season
big
finale since then has been the universe is gonna implode.
yeah.
And that it's exhausting. It's exhausting to have the universe constantly imploding.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's what we need. Is I think the charm I think of Doctor Who is just the
Yeah.
sci-fi adventures. I think trying to make big stories, and there are great big stories. Like again, the whole Gallifrey Falls storyline is I think one of the best Who stories. But it's I don't think I think we don't need every plot to be another Fall Gallifrey story
Yeah.
over and over again scenario. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I'm gonna head out for now, so
Sounds good.
I'll do my link. So just follow me at Darko643 on YouTube and Blue Sky. I do art commissions like the one you see at the very channel. Want any? Feel free to DM me on Blue Sky or Sound Disco Protocol. Link in the description below. Have a nice night, everybody.
All right. So okay. No, the person said how many
Gallifrey, I think,
regenerations since
actually.
2017? We had Jodie, then Tennant, then Shooty bi-generated from Tennant. Then we had now we have Billy Piper. So we've had 4, but then you also throw in Fugitive Doctor, so that's 5. We had like 5 new doctors.
Soundout. I'm gonna say this right now. I think the fall of Gallifrey has been too much of a focal point. Reboot.
I think the problem is the fall of Gallifrey keeps getting mentioned, and it's different every single time. Like now, the Time Lords were
Yeah.
sterilized. Like what?
Like no, I don't. I like as someone who's watched like the good eras of Doctor Who from this since the reboot, which were like pretty much everything up to the Gargoyle. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that like
because Capaldi was weak compared to the previous like 3 Doctors. But
yeah,
he wasn't horrible.
I liked Capaldi's
He was
era a lot
funny.
because he had actually compelling villains. That's what I liked about Capaldi's era.
I like the thing.
And he had
about
Clara.
Capaldi is
Clara's
that
the best.
well, she's great. She is literally my second favorite.
Yeah,
That doesn't deserve any of the shit. But like, yeah, no, like I think the thing was he was really channeling old retro Doctors,
Yep.
which was perfect with his zaniness. But I think the biggest problem with Doctor Who is the fact that they did the thing that Kamen Rider did, and I think that's one of their biggest problems is when they did their massive reboot, they were like, we got to get young, edgy edge guys and dorky guys that look like beautiful models, and that's what hurt I think that's legit what hurt who.
It changed his perception, right? Because there was a lot of people that jumped
Yes,
off
they
with
changed-
Capaldi because he wasn't like a young hot guy like Matt Smith was, right?
Yes.
And yeah,
I want to also bring up the funniest thing ever. Everyone who's trying to use every Doctor Who person who what the meme is explain this to me as a Tokusatsu person is doing it wrong.
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why you're doing it wrong. Someone today was like, "Yo, explain Billy's return," and they're like, "This is if Ultraman Zero was the main Ultra of a new show." No, that is not what it is.
That's not what it is.
This is if the original Ultraman came back and it was Ide who was the host.
Yeah.
This
Or
is like,
here's another
this is
example.
like
Here's
if-
another example.
if
Here's
Ida
another
came
example.
back
All right.
and
It's like
it was the commander.
it's like in episode 30, like whatever. It's like if next week's episode of Common Commander Gav, like Shoma gets shot through the head, and the new Gav is Ichijo from Kuga. That it's baffling. It really, like, the thing is, you know, and talking about like Billy Piper, Rose Tyler, that's fine. You know, I'd like for her to return and stuff. The way she shows up though is just so random and so out of nowhere that it doesn't make any sense. Blade Raider has the thought I thought. Said, honestly, the regeneration would have gone better if it was into the Fugitive Doctor. Yeah, this is my thing, is that, like, you know, if they needed to have, like, a placeholder Doctor before 16th came along, why not the Fugitive? Why not do a special with the Fugitive as, like, a gap thing, you know? Like, see if you could get Joe Martin for a special. They got her for a 20-second cameo this season that was way too short. Like, get her for a special, and then you can go to your next Doctor after that. Kind of elaborate on more of the Fugitive stuff, because I love that character, but we've barely gotten anything with her.
My only theory why they had to pull Rose back is because
she's the only one that say yes.
One, she's the only one that would say yes, and two, the only thing that gave them numbers was when Tenet was back just recently.
And that's my problem with it, right? Is that they're trying to recreate the Tenet hype. But because it's not even been 2 years since the Tenet thing. It's way too soon, and so it starts to make it feel like the franchise is not able to move forward. It's stuck on the past.
But it does possibly raise the most interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
What was Rose really the Doctor without any memories the entire time?
People have speculated it's the Bad Wolf entity that was trapped inside the TARDIS that got released.
Maybe.
And that would make some sense. You know, and yeah, like Kyle said, we don't even know when there's going to be new shit. That's why I wish they would have just left it open-ended instead. I think the surprise should have been, you know, and for those that haven't seen the episode, sorry, but the surprise should have just been not only a surprise that he regenerated, because that was a surprise. They didn't announce it at that time, which was weird. But the surprise should have been Jodie returning. That should have been just the surprise. Because I feel like Jodie's return got, like, completely overshadowed by the Billy Piper thing. And that sucks, because I thought that it was great that Jodie got to come back and have a moment with Shooty, because that was, like, my favorite scene in the whole reshoot section of the episode. I was like, this is the greatest thing. I love this. But I think that, you know, so I guess talking back into the season as a whole, because we kind of didn't really, oh god, Mr. Doogie says, YouTube ate my long comment. Essentially, RTD's pulling from scrap plans in the 90s books. Not good necessarily, but I think it shows his mindset. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's kind of the case too. It was frustrating because as a newer fan, and I'm someone who's watched the entire, like, modern era, you know, I really like Shooty. I thought that, like, last season he didn't get enough time because he was not in 2 of the episodes. This season he was in almost all of them. It was like one that he wasn't in as much, because Russell loves his Dr. Light episode, and that was fine. But, like, you know, it was like by the like he was regenerating. I was just like, I was in disbelief, because I'm like, I feel like we just started, like, and there's so many hanging plot threads, like it. And people who watch the Colin Baker era, like, this is what it felt like when Colin Baker got kicked off the show, and suddenly, like, everything that was going on just got thrown in a bin, and then they just started over, and that did not feel good. Like, you know, and then hearing that they were setting up a season 3, like, it makes sense, because the story's not over yet.
This is the problem with Doctor Who, right? This is one of the legit problems. Is either they have issues behind the scenes with the actors, so they replace them. 2, the other issue that they have is, at least in the recent eras, they're too grandiose now, especially with the budget.
We just talked about that. We just talked about how everything has to be a universe-ending event. It's, like, way too big, yeah.
But no, it's not just that. But the fact that they had, like, every trailer I saw with this guy, his budget looked more and more like a Netflix or
Yep.
or a Hulu, because I think it's on Disney.
Because of the Disney money, yeah. Because Disney Plus was not just distributing; they're putting money in. I'm trying to turn Wheels up. I can't turn him up. He's at my max. Astronaut's having trouble hearing me.
I'm just.
Yeah.
Well,
I've got you maxed out.
anyways.
I can't do anything else.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do anything either. You know. Hold on. I think maybe my microphone came unplugged when I was moving the tray.
Okay.
And it didn't tell me. Give me a second. Just give me
Yeah. Wheels
closer.
pop back in and see if it worked.
All right. I'm a little bit better.
It's a little better.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. It's, like nothing's wrong.
Here, let me just.
I hear you clear. I hear you clear. But
let me just lower my audio, and then that'll balance it out. I think you guys can turn up your speakers.
Yeah, so, like my issue is ever since Disney gave them more money and they now look more cinematic and stuff, I think that hurt Doctor Who because now they're having more budget, but they're also getting I think less episodes.
Less episodes. They only have 8 a season now, and it's not enough.
So that's the problem. That's because I remember I think Eccleston and Matt Smith had like 13 to 20.
They had 13 a season, and then during Jodie's era, it dropped to 10. And then Jodie's last season was only 6 because of COVID. And now we're only at 8. Because like Shooty had 2 seasons plus a special, but he had only 18 episodes, and 3 of them he wasn't in fully, so he only really had 15 episodes. So he barely has any more episodes than Eccleston.
Yeah, no, like you can't. This is gonna sound weird. You can't give Doctor Who J-drama episode counts.
Yeah.
Because it's too grandiose.
That's right. Capaldi was only 12 episodes per season. Yeah.
Like you can maybe get away with the 12, 13 episodes for sure.
I think 12, 13 is fine. But yeah, coming below.
This is a show that needs like kind of around the American standard of at least 20, barely enough, because it feels like it's so much supposed to be more epic and more fun and
also you need those episodes in between to develop characters.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like when I was liking Doctor Who, it was a lot of the weird character stuff that we had to deal with due to the fall, because that's why like I liked a bit of Eccleston and I really loved Tennant's shit, was because there would just be moments where at the end of the episode they're just like in a lot like a house study or whatever, wherever the hell they were staying at, and they're like breaking down, having PTSD.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of great positives this season. I think that's I think the ending kind of soured a lot of it, but I want to talk about I really enjoyed a lot of this season. I thought the first episode introducing Belinda was great. I thought it was great that Belinda had a bit of an adversarial relationship with the Doctor. Like she was like, "You need to get me home." And then he tested her DNA without her permission. She's like, "You're dangerous and you get people killed." And I was like, "This is great, keep it up." And then it just completely went away. Like a couple episodes later. I thought the episode where they fought a cartoon character was brilliant. I thought that was great. And then there was they did a episode that took place on a planet. I thought it was good. And then I was kind of annoyed it was a sequel to a David Tennant episode. It was cool, but it was also at the same time, it was like, all right, how many times are we doing this? Yeah, it's true, Kyle. If they're going to have less episodes, they should have longer episodes. I agree. Let me go look up the episodes this season, because I kind of it's still, the show still plays episodic. But they, it worked episodically because they were like, oh, we need to stop and get the readings on the Vindicator so that way we can do the next thing. And I like that. I overall, I like that format. But then it just started to derail a little bit. So we had Lucky Day, which was pretty much just a Ruby Sunday episode. But Doctor's barely in it. Doctor and Belinda aren't in it much, and that kind of set up one of the villains for the season, which I thought was good. The story in the engine was probably the best of the episode of the whole season. They're in a barber shop and they're telling stories, and it's the power of storytelling, and I thought that was really, really good. The Interstellar Song Contest was a little bit weird, but overall I was I enjoyed it. Wish World, which was the first part of the 2-part finale, I thought was had some good ideas of they're trapped in this world. They're a fascist is making it so disabled people don't exist. And I was like, that's a cool angle to go with, and then they just didn't follow up on any of it because they didn't have enough time.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with this, because all I feel is pain.
Yeah, they had this thing where it was basically it was this it was quote unquote perfect world, and everybody had nuclear family setups, and so all the disabled people were just living in a tent city, because like the world ignored them. And I thought it was really interesting, and they were using Shirley
I
and
want full
all that.
euthanasia.
And then, it was really cool, but then they just didn't do anything with it. Just kind of like dropped off. And then Reality War, I liked the first half for the most part, and then I didn't like the second half as much because I thought, they were making this big deal about like the Doctor and Belinda had a kid in the Wish world, and they're like, we got to save this kid, and they save the kid. And it's like, oh, things are great. The world returns to normal. And then the kid vanishes. And then the Doctor and Belinda seem to have forgotten. And then Ruby's the only one that remembers because of 73 yards or something. And then it's like the Doctor winks at Ruby, kind of like I know this kid existed, but I'm not going to tell Belinda because you can't get her back. And then, Ruby kind of leaves. And it's like, and it was also, there's really weird. Everybody was really like mean to Ruby. Like, she's like, I remember this kid existing. And they're like, well, timeline shift. Maybe you're just crazy. And I'm like, what? He just said timeline shifted. Why are you being all so mean to Ruby? And then, like, the Doctor's like, and me and Belinda are going to go on adventures and leave you here. Goodbye. And I was like, why are you all, like, not just taking Ruby with you? It was like, everyone was just really mean to Ruby for no reason. And then kind of going from that, they then write this story for the regeneration, which was clearly a reshoot, where the Doctor, like, shifts time's axis, and he has to use his regeneration energy to do it to make sure this kid exists, which has a horrifying implication, and it's treated as like a victory and like a good thing. But Belinda goes from a single woman who's like career focused on being a nurse, and she's got like roommates and stuff, and she's like trying to make it through, and she's like, I have a duty to come back and help people at this hospital. You need to get me home. To the end of the episode where it's like, oh, now she's a single mother with a child in a nicer house, and it was like, that's nice, but like you completely changed her background and completely changed her as a person and changed her history from I need to get back to help the patients at the hospital to I need to get back to my kid. Like, the Doctor rewrote her life, and it just was like, I just didn't sit well with me, because it's like, it's not seen as a bad thing that he did that. And the fact that there was like, that the Wish baby already existed as a space baby, which means this was like a duplicate, and they basically, like, the Doctor kills himself just to save this fake baby, is kind of just really out of line with the Doctor, because like there was an episode with Donna where she had like fake kids, and he was like, you just got to let them go, they're not real. And I'm like, where was that energy here? And so you could definitely tell it was a last minute rewrite, and you could definitely tell it wasn't lined up with the rest of the episode. And so instead of getting a setup where, and maybe the setup for season 3 could have been, that baby's out there, Doctor, Belinda, and Ruby, let's go find the baby.
They can't do that.
But that could have been the next season. But there was a scene shot of the Doctor, Belinda, and Ruby at a club, and then the Doctor's granddaughter, Susan, Carol Ann Ford's been wanting to come back to the show for years, and they finally bring her in for like a little cameo, and they were going to have her looking over as kind of like a setup for season 3. And they could have been like looking for the baby, or they could have been doing anything. It could have just been going on adventures. So yeah, Mr. Doogie, yeah, he could have mentioned that he shifted reality to bring the kid back, or asked Belinda if that's what she wanted. Did she want her whole life to be different? And a lot of people pointed out too, Belinda could have been written from the beginning that she was trying to get back to her kid, and that kid happened to be the one that was in the Wish reality and stuff. It was just kind of like, and it also just like put Belinda in a really weird spot as a character, because she was clearly written to be a new character. And then in the episodes that were done by the guest writers, starring the Indian Interstellar Song Contest, which I liked both of those, but Belinda kind of slipped into a companion that just loves the Doctor and will follow anything wherever he goes, which just completely just sidelined it. And then to make her like the mother of this fake child, when they had already set up Ruby to be the mother of the fake child during the Space Babies episode, where that specific space baby was like looking at Ruby and the Doctor like, oh, you're mom and dad. Like, you could tell that they rewrote it so that it wasn't Ruby's story anymore, it was Belinda's, because they couldn't get Millie Gibson for the whole season. And so it's just like, it's a lot of back and forth, and it's like, so as like, I liked a lot of episodes of it. I thought the season was actually like good overall as TV, but the more you like, because of how the ending is and how abrupt it is and how quick it is and how unexpected it is, you then start to like roll backwards and you start unraveling the rest of the season, and you're trying to figure out where did it all go wrong. And I think where it all went wrong was somewhere in just production time frames. Like, something went off. And then there's some other issues too that
I can
are
tell you where also it went wrong.
Disney.
No, it's
The BBC?
the concept of what?
The BBC? Because they're always a problem.
Sort of. My biggest problem is the show technically, while being this great sci-fi epic adventure, actually has like a finite story. It literally says he has all these regenerations. And
Oh, they
then
changed that
I was
during.
just gonna ask about that.
They-
I was gonna ask.
they-
They
they
changed
fixed
that.
in the day
They
of the
fixed that
Doctor.
during.
They-
They fixed that during Matt
Day
Smith's
of the
era.
Doctor.
I was about to ask
Yeah.
about that because I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, didn't he even set him out?
Yeah, it was
Did they
supposed to be
change-
12.
No,
like all
they
the
ruined it.
Yeah, the thing is that it was supposed to be 12. They changed that when Capaldi came in because at that point, because they added the War Doctor, Matt Smith was the 12th. So, but they changed it with the Translore storyline. Like that was like, it was changed so the Doctor would have more regenerations. And then during Jodie's era, they revealed that the Doctor was like experimented on as a child to do the regeneration thing as the timeless child. And that's how the Time Lords learned how to regenerate, and they wiped the Doctor's memories of all that. Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
I wish they would expand on it. And then suddenly the Time Lords are sterile and there's no development on that. And that was only existing so that way it would be like, oh, this child can only exist in this reality. And it's like, again, what happened to Susan?
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
why, like I said, they ruined their own lore because it's finite. It was finite originally. It was literally there is an end.
And I don't
There is
mind
an
them
end.
like coming up with new lore to explain why. I thought the translore explanation
Oh yeah,
was
yeah,
good.
that's true too.
you know.
But the problem is that technically also pigeonholed these.
It did and it didn't,
jackasses
because it
to
seems
have to
like
try to
every
come up-
explanation for it has been different. But the ultimate problem I have is that this era was supposed to be a soft relaunch, and yet its main villains are all just like old characters from the past, and it's all
It's
like
always the same effing dude. Now he just has a vagina, and he was supposed to be super dead the last time we saw him.
I mean, we didn't have the Master didn't show up at all during these seasons.
Okay,
The Daleks
'cause, like,
didn't
that
show
was
up.
one of the biggest complaints.
They didn't have the Daleks, the Cybermen, or the Master. Like, they don't need all three, but they needed at least one, you know? And I think maybe they would have done it in season 3, because they kind of set up they showed a Dalek in the finale, and so I was like, maybe that was another, thing they were going to do.
I want there to be. I
Yeah.
really want. I forget if they did in the lore, but I want them to just have a friendly Dalek that's the companion of the Doctor for once. That'd be
Clara?
the funniest shit ever.
Clara.
Huh?
That was Clara's storyline.
Was she?
She was when they
Okay.
introduced her first, she was a Dalek.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
It's been a minute because I missed half of it.
Yeah, she was introduced as a Dalek, and then later on they brought her in as the companion, and it was like her before she became the Dalek.
But I want the full-on box. I want
That'd
the
be nice.
full-on little R2D2 box.
There's a lot of
Moving
ways to
around.
still go
It'd
with
be
this.
funnier.
It does feel like we are starting to like, and maybe it's not, because I think there's a lot of unique, like the story in the engine was brilliant. I think that just ending it on, we're brought back another character from series 2 of the revival. That just felt to me like we're not going forward. We're just going backwards. We're trying to capture something that's gone. We need to make something new. Make the next thing that's going to be referenced for years,
I got an idea. It's
Yeah.
gonna blow their effing mind.
hmm
Make the Doctor someone so young that no one will take him goddamn seriously.
They kind of did that with Matt Smith.
No, I mean, like, make him, like, actually like a teenager where no one believes he's the Doctor anymore because he was reverted so below the age of Matt Smith that they're like, you think I'm gonna listen
Make him
to
like an
this kid?"
18-year-old.
And then yeah, just bring up
Yeah.
the sonic screwdriver and they're like, oh shit, it is the Doctor.
Yep. Yeah, Muteki said I like the Toy Maker. I did too. It's part of the reason I started watching the show. And I thought it was cool to bring back an old villain in the form of the Toy Maker. And
Aw, jeez.
but the problem I have is that it sort of was like, oh, we brought back the Toy Maker, and now we brought back Sutek, and now we brought back the Ronnie. It's like every season they had to like bring back an old villain that hadn't been used in a long time. That was
Jerry,
kind
Michael
of
Cole
like
lost the bet.
anything to do with Doctor Who.
Sorry, I was telling him.
Just
happened.
DM it. Just DM it. We have messages for a reason. So I guess the thing is, like, can I say the season was good? Yes, I think it's still a good season. I think the ending was really frustrating because of how tacked on it was. We can sit here and go like, well, we could have had this, where he didn't regenerate and then he had a special and that's where he regenerated or whatever. And it's like, yeah, we can sit here and wonder all the way. I will say, I was real disappointed to see that he was regenerating. But the storyline they wrote of how the Doctor would like sacrifice himself, take a huge risk to save this one child, was a good emotional beat. I was like, this is a good emotional like ending. Like, I'm not happy with some of it, and I wasn't happy that he was regenerating already because I feel like we were just getting started. but I kind of was like, okay, if this is how he has to go out, this is a good ending. It's a good emotional ending. It's core to like the Doctor making sure he always saves people and stuff, and I like that. And then Billy Piper showed up and kind of ruined the whole thing for me, like that, because it just we could have ended it on the emotional moment, but the Billy Piper thing was so ridiculous and so out of nowhere. It felt like putting a joke on the end of a funeral.
Hey, at least I'm gonna be watching this because I have a reason to watch now.
Yeah, but are you going to stick around after she's only there for like one special?
Oh no, I'm not gonna stick around.
And that's the
The Doctor
problem.
looks cool.
And that's the problem, right? A bunch of people showed up for David Tennant, didn't stick around for Shooty, and that's kind of the issue.
Pretty much, I was gonna watch his later.
Yeah,
I didn't want. I wasn't in an immediate rush to watch it. Like Capaldi, I was in an immediate rush, and I've already been told don't watch The Woman by several Who fans.
my problem with Jodie's era is my same problem with Shooty's era. I really like the person playing the Doctor. I like Jodie a lot. I like Shooty a lot. I think the character's great. I like the companions, and then the writing lets them down. Like
Yeah,
the writing
I've
is
heard
just
don't
like
watch it. The
the
writing's
issue.
horrible.
Because I think with Jodie, it was like I really like that cast. I really like those characters, and then I just felt like she just kept getting these weak stories or these overcomplicated stories. And same thing with Shooty. Like this finale was so overcomplicated. It was like, oh, we're fighting the Ronnie, but no, the Ronnie's going to bring back Omega. Oh, but Omega eats the Ronnie, so now we got to fight Omega. Oh, we put the Omega back in. Oh, now we got to save this child, and we got to save this child by shifting reality. It's going to cause the Doctor to regenerate to do this, and it's
why
like
is it that
just
those two?
simplify it. My God.
Why is it that just those two seasons are literally the Dino Fury syndrome of?
Yes,
I like
that's
some
what
of these
I actually
characters,
mentioned
but
this
the writing
earlier.
sucks. But
This
you
is
said it,
it's
you
the
did say it. That's why I'm
yes.
bringing it up. That's why I'm just like when you put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You had two different Doctors, and it was just the Dino Fury issue of. You had actual somewhat characters that were interesting, but the show just sucked.
Yeah, it's like the writing is like the characters are there, the actors are there, and then the writing's not supporting them super well. And then the other issue is, and the issue I have with both of them is that they just can't stop referencing old things. It's like when Dino Fury had that episode where they needed to like make a hologram projector, and they just went and grabbed the Dino Charge ones and ran some clips of the Dino Charge ones to explain that they were using something from the past, which just made it obvious they were reusing a plot point. It happened too many times, like in the last 2 seasons, and that's like it's frustrating because it's like it's like kind of the MCUification of Doctor Who. It's like everything has to reference something else, and it's like no, it doesn't. Even if you reuse a plot, don't call attention to the fact you did.
You can still reflect and sort of at least bring up plot points. Because it's like, oh yeah, so like 18 years ago, the Master did this, and then it's like, oh shit, really? And maybe show a flashback of the event, like say like, oh like you get what I'm saying? Like hypothetically, depending on what type of story beat, you can flashback and allude and say what it is, but it shouldn't just be like Easter egg central all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the thing is that because like a bunch of the Easter eggs were cool. They're like here's a connection. I liked when they tie something in. And then other times it would just be like Kate going, my father fought Omega. And it's like, that doesn't contribute anything to this conversation. You got any advice to how to beat him that your father told you or something? Or are you just mentioning the fact that your father... And that's the issue I have with Kate in this current era, is that during like, the Smith Capaldi days, she was always butting heads with the Doctor. And she was like, oh, I don't trust you fully, but I'll work with you. Like my father spoke good of you. Like I will give you a shot, but I'm going to keep my eye on you, kind of thing. And then it's like in the Russell T Davies 2.0 era, she's just like the Doctor is the perfect person. He knows everything of what he's doing. We back you up 100%. I'm just like, where did this shift happen? Where did this shift happen? And so it's like it's kind of frustrating because it's like Kate lost a little bit of her bite. She got a little bit of back in Lucky Day. Because she like basically tried to murder a guy, which is great. This guy was being a dumbass and wanted to release a monster that was going to kill him, and she's like, "Fine, release the monster. Let him see what he's done." And I was like, "That's the Kate Lethbridge Stewart I was missing." I hope she's got some bite in the unit spinoff because like that's the thing is I want Kate to be like feistier. She got softened too much and kept hiring everybody's kids. He kept hiring everybody's kids and just making them stand around and do nothing. Rose Noble and her iPad.
This was a perfect world. We wouldn't have gotten John Hurt when he was so damn old for one special.
Mm-hmm. This was a perfect world. we would have already announced a Fugitive Doctor special as an in-between. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, a perfect
Yes.
world, we would have gotten 5 seasons with Shooty, but I want
Oh,
like the more that I sit with the Billy Piper thing, the more I wish it was just literally anybody else. I would have gladly taken Billy Piper coming back as Rose Tyler, though. You know, I would have taken it. I would have enjoyed it if she got to do something, because I think that I love that they brought Mel in, because I like Mel a lot. But then this season, Mel's appearances, she was just like, "And I'm here." And I'm like, "Come on, you got her back. Give her something to do."
let's just be glad one thing though. Let's just be glad it wasn't the plot twist that it wasn't Billy, but it was Captain Jack. That would have been even more of a giant weird.
That would have been bad because of all the assault things he did on set for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kept showing people his sonic screwdriver, if you know what I mean.
Jeez.
Unsolicited,
That
unprovoked.
Golly.
Yeah. Blade Reader says, we don't know if Who is continuing, but there's a Unit spinoff. Yes, it's called, for some reason, not just called Unit. It's called The War Between the Land and the Sea. They said it's coming soon. There's a trailer out for it. And it's only going to be like 5 episodes. But it's got Kate and Colonel Ibrahim and Shirley in it. I don't know why the rest of Unit's not in it, but it's just like those 3 are in it. And I'm like, I just want some good Kate Stewart stuff. Like, she's so cool. That's like, I think like kind of like, I think it's like sometimes like I have this issue with I think that's this issue sometimes with this season, was that like there's all these cool women and then they all get undercut, like all get cut off at the knees. I was just like, it was kind of frustrating because it'd be like Mel like drives into Unit and she's like, I remember who I am, and she drives in on her scooter up to the bridge, and then all she does is sit down and says, I fought the Ronnie once. And I was like, yeah, you did. Good job, Mel. Like, you know, it's like I kind of miss like in the first season where she was like driving the Doctor around places and doing stuff, and you know, she was involved with like the Sutex storyline a whole lot. But Linda got stuck in a box for like most of the finale just to protect that dang kid, and I was like, really? She doesn't get to like fight?
Living in a box.
She was literally living in a box. Also, it was funny because
box.
they had the dramatic background music playing while Unit's doing their big battle, and then it just cuts to Belinda in the box and the music stops, and I'm like, is Unit just blasting that music through the speakers? Because the music started exactly back up when they left the box. AR, that's a good point. If Billy said anything but "oh hello," it would have been better. Like, imagine Billy Piper shows up, looks at herself, and says, "What the f," and it cuts off. That would be fun. That would
Position F strike.
Yeah, as opposed to, "Oh look, I'm back. Are you tuning back in?" Like that. It just, I think that's what it is. Is it just didn't feel like it served a purpose besides a ratings play. And when you do something like that where it just doesn't feel like you serving a purpose besides a ratings play, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel worth it. You know. Like, at least when they brought the Ronnie back, they were doing stuff with her before they unceremoniously killed her off for no reason. Yeah, it's... Yeah, no, it's just...
Maybe it's time we put the Doctor out to pasture again.
Someone said they should go on a break, and I honestly kind of agree. I think we need a break. I think we need new creative teams. I think we just need a shakeup, because I felt like the beginning of this era had a lot of promise, and I think the production issues are a major factor of why it sort of fell apart by the end. But I do think we do need better writers, and I think also if we're gonna have Shirley in the show, which I absolutely want to have Shirley in the show, we need somebody who's disabled consulting on the writing of the show, because
Well, there you go.
That's something with Shirley, is that she's in a wheelchair, and it feels like half the time her plot is like, at least this season, like all that happened with Shirley this season is that like Conrad, the far right internet grifter evil guy, like says, oh, she's only half a person, why do you even have her on her staff, she's just a diversity hire. So it's just like, oh, you're just like, you have Shirley there just to be yelled at by some asshole. And then in his wish reality, where like everything was quote unquote perfect, she was like leading the disabled people that actually remember that the world shouldn't be perfect and they hate the guy. You know, that kind of, I was like, that's something. But then in the finale, all she gets like to do is like, they like call her back and they're like, do you remember? And she's like, I remember. And then she activates the rocket jets in her wheelchair, and then she shows up in the base and then doesn't do anything. And it's like, there's potential here, but like where give her something to do besides, be a point to point out how bad the villains are. Same thing happened to Rose Noble. She only exists to be a victim of transphobia. She doesn't actually have anything to do as a character.
Soundout, I need to now edit her with her rocket boosters flying off, and then it has the Poochie died on his way back home.
I mean, she didn't do anything for the rest of the episode, so same difference.
Yes.
And what's the thing too that bugged me is they made a big deal in the Giggle. They made a big deal about adding a wheelchair ramp to the TARDIS. And Shirley never went inside the TARDIS for like the whole 2 seasons of the show. They didn't write a single scene where she got to roll her way into the TARDIS.
Yeah, they finally made it handicap accessible, and they don't even use their crippled characters.
Exactly.
What a shame.
It's a shame. I think that's something that I would like to see them improve on, because I think Shirley's great. I like her. I wish she got more to do, and I would like to see, like, maybe we'll see it in the unit spinoff. Maybe without the Doctor around, maybe they can, give Shirley some more to do. There's a lot of potential in a lot of the characters they have. I just think we need some stronger writing. We need some more time. This 8-episode thing's not working. Because God, I said this with too many Star Wars things, right? I like what I was given. I just didn't like the way I was given it. And boy, is that just not every franchise now. Oh, Kyle, that's a good point. They only used it for Wilf. Yeah, that was the whole reason. That was probably the reason they installed the ramp, was for Wilf, and then they didn't get to use him for that episode because he died. Yeah, I really love Doctor Who. I really liked a lot about this era. The ending frustrated me to the point where it made me realize some of the other issues. And now that we're on a break, I just kind of hope that they lock in, shake it up, make something cool. Like, just do it. Blade Raider says, let Shirley in the damn TARDIS, maybe a guest companion for episode 2. All right, Billy Piper. If Billy Piper's going to be the Doctor for however long, let's make Shirley her companion. Just have her go in there and hang out and be like the companion. Like, you just pick her up from unit and be like, look, I need you for this mission, and then just take her and give her some adventures. It'd be fun, real fun.
Give me adventures. I need a paycheck.
Oh, bring Rose Noble along too. Maybe she can get a full character. That'd be nice, because she had like one episode.
I will do any stupid ass thing on that show, just to collect a paycheck and just to flex that I was on the show for their disability hire.
I mean, they did have they had a disability consultant for the set of the disabled camp in the Wishworld episode.
Like, I'll tell you this.
So.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this though. I won't show my penis on set like
John Barrowman.
Barrowman.
Yeah. See, you're already better than like John Barrowman, the guy that played Mickey. Like, you're already doing better than those two.
The only thing I want in my contract is that I get to do one of those stupid radio dramas with Tennant or Eccleston.
That'd be fun. Those radio dramas are great. I've been looking into them.
Mr.
Doogie said Shirley's actress did a run as the Sixth Doctor's companion in Big Finish. That's great. That's really great.
That's a good joke, though,
yeah.
right? My only edict is I need to work with Tennant and Eccleston once, and we're good.
Eccleston's doing audio dramas now, so that
exactly.
It's on the table. I was looking into it.
I think my GI Joe.
I think the first audio drama I'm gonna get, because I think I'm ready to like dive into Doctor Who audio, especially if we're gonna be on a hiatus for like 2 years or whatever. I think my first Doctor Who audio drama is gonna be the Fugitive Doctor one they just released, because like easy way for me to get interested in something is to throw the Fugitive Doctor in front of my ass. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start there, and then just like progress through. I guess I don't know. Never listened to long audio dramas before. It'd be fun. That ends the discussion. I don't have anything else to say. I think I covered everything. Positives, negatives. I miss Shooty. I wish he got more. I wish they could have made it work. Maybe
I can't make anything work.
That's the kind of problem. I felt like the show let down Shooty, it let down Millie Gibson, and it let down Verita Sethu. I think like all three of them got let down bad enough that I don't know if they're going to come back for audio dramas. I think that's kind of the biggest problem. But yeah, Blader says, "Oh, that has me interested in audio drama the first time ever." Yeah, no, they're doing there's a Fugitive Doctor one out now, and there's another one coming out I think in July. Like, they're doing a whole series with Joe Martin and Alice Krieg, who played the Borg Queen in Star Trek First Contact, is in those audio dramas too. So, like, is there any more way to appeal to me? Mr. Dookie says there's also 4 box sets John Hurt recorded before he passed, and they got an impressionist to take over. New guy's okay, but the 4 sets with John Hurt are really special. That sounds awesome. Oh, the person said finally started liking the 15th Doctor and they regenerated. Yeah, I know. I bought his damn Barbie doll and then they regenerated him 2 weeks later. Like, what the hell? I thought the Barbie meant you were safe.
Ah, joke's on you.
I'm still excited to get it because I still like him, but I wanted a Belinda Barbie doll to go with them, but now I'm like, man, maybe not. I need Verida's character from Andor instead. she didn't get treated as dirty, and considering what happened to her in that show, that's sad. I think I'm done talking about this though, so we can wrap up. I'm gonna turn off the poster, turn off River Song there. You guys want to say anything before we leave? I was gonna go 2 hours today, and look at that, we did 3. Oh well.
Well,
Let's call it a night, guys. I'm tired. I'm gonna go regenerate now.
let's
my
just say
turn to
where they'll
regenerate.
find you.
About the bird.
Yes, where they
Everybody
find you
knows
tomorrow.
it's
You linked it. At what time? 4 p.m. Eastern.
Gonna play Capcom Fighting Collection.
Yep.
Yeah. And go check out hero-club.com.
Yeah, and follow us across social media using Hero Club for Life. Go
Yep.
check out our awesome interviews, past, present, and future. Go check out that Kane Kosogi interview. You know, Ninja Black. Go check it out. Go check it out. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember, if you want to ask Sound Out video game questions, do it on my stream.
Yep. Ask me Cyberpunk
Don't
questions.
do
I'll
it
go
at
on for an
all.
hour. All right. We will see you guys next week for another stream. Videos this week as always. And we'll see you next time.